The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Feel Good Friday, June 10th, 2022, and this sports show shall begin right now. Yeah. What a week it has been. We can't thank you enough for joining us here. We'll have 3 guests today joining us. It'll be Joe Pompliano, one of the Pompliano brothers, who covers the finance world, the business world of all things happening in the world, including sports. That's why Joe will stop by, because now there's 3 athlete billionaires officially.
Wow.
Congratulations to Tiger Woods becoming a billionaire again.
Yeah,
we think. We're not 100% sure, but we think again. Michael Jordan and LeBron James. So that'll obviously lead into other conversations about money being spent in other places and how this price of sport is just only going up and up and up. Dana White alluded to it the other day. It's real. Everybody's trying to get into sports. And he said that he thought maybe the COVID stoppage was what made people fall in love with sport even more, because it was a distraction and a getaway from all the other things happening in the world. You're just watching 2 teams, hopefully one that you have a rooting interest for, whether it's from your town or your family or you're gambling on them, taking each other on, showcasing excellence, and just kind of moving forward. I'm excited to hear what Joe Pompliano's thoughts are on the state of competition finance-wise, especially with F1 coming over here to America and just allegedly being billions and billions and billions of dollars. Should be a good conversation with Joe Pompliano. To be clear, never talked to him before. Only seen him on Twitter.
That's right.
Crushes.
He does well. I enjoy him. He gives us a lot of great information. Now, I've watched his podcast he does as well. I've heard and seen his work. Today will be the first time we talk to him. Big thanks to the finance guy coming down to our level.
Hell yeah.
You know, stooping down to the sports stooge level, hopefully to break some things down. We appreciate that. Darius Butler will join us in the second hour, host of the Man to Man podcast. He's up to something.
Yeah, I saw that.
What's that, I wonder? Happy for Darius. He's the man. And in the third hour, maybe.
Hopefully.
We don't know.
DVD.
Probably just got done, running some stats for the USFL game this weekend.
That's right.
And next weekend.
And the next one, maybe Gabe Morenci last night.
Please, Gabe.
Now, Gabe Morenci, to you that are listening that don't know who he is, I apologize for that. He has been a Canadian sports talk, sports gambling icon for like 20, 30 years straight. I just learned of his existence within the last year because of Goomp, who is back in Canada. This dude is a lightning rod.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Every single time he's come on here, we have absolutely loved the conversation. Got to meet him out at Super Bowl Radio Row. He was electrifying there. Cannot wait to hear his thoughts on everything going on in the sports world. We will also hopefully talk to you on the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. The boys are here. No AJ Hawk today. He's doing a cold event out there.
Some people.
What do you know?
Hey, he's at a golf cold event. Yeah, I mean, no big deal. Do what you got to do, raise some money. I've seen a picture of him golfing. He looks fantastic, getting his game together for Tahoe. We're happy for him. We're proud of him. Can't wait to chat with him on Monday. Maybe we're going to call in from him mid-swing. We'll be able to see him take a hit.
Nice. That'd be nice.
I sent a text, asked for him. I don't know if he read it or if it's been left on scene. He has not responded. I think that's because he's so focused and diligent to raising money for the cult that he's out there focusing on his game. Whatever the case, maybe an AJ Hawk appearance today. If not, we'll see him Monday. The Toxic Table is here. At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Connor, let's start with you. Celtics tonight can go up 3-1. No. 3-1 at home in the Garden, just a couple days removed from Draymond Green's family saying that the Boston Celtics fans are scumbags. Klay Thompson saying that the Boston Celtics fans are despicable. Both of those are definitely true, but to have targets on the back of players now going into a Boston venue with a banner on the line, the 18th banner on the line in the finals, It is going to be a rumpus atmosphere. How excited are you, sir?
I am absolutely juiced. Yesterday, I felt pretty terribly about the game, and then after all the comments the players were making, I just progressively have felt better to the point now where I like them, minus 15, just because of the fact that the crowd is going to be even more wild than it was Wednesday. And there's been a lot of clips coming out since they made these comments. I believe we've all seen the clip of LeBron walking off and a Golden State Warriors fan yelling to LeBron, "How's it feel to be a punk-ass bitch?" I think you guys might remember that. And then I saw other people saying, "Oh, are these the same fans who were sending death threats to Deebo Samuel just a few weeks ago because they live in the San Fran area?" But hey, look, that's just, those are two different
things. So Boston fans are like, wow, quite a high horse that you seem to be shooting yourself in the foot on. I mean, this is a fascinating situation. You're saying hypocrisy?
Maybe just a little. I'm not saying it's not like the LIV League and, Uber and everything. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Hey, where's all those companies from?
I'm not exactly sure. I know Uber is actually based out of San Francisco.
Yeah.
I think that might be. Hey, we're talking basketball. We're talking basketball, and I feel great about the Celtics. I feel even better about the fact that the Warriors are more worried about what's going to be coming out of the mouths of the fans than the actual ball in the hoop. So I feel good about the game. I feel really good about raising that 18th banner.
A follow-up to all of that, Tony, it feels like the office's trends, and I don't know if this is the world's trends, is that Klay Thompson will respond well to this type of thing and have a big-time game. I think a lot of people think Klay Thompson is a dog. We'll find out tonight. What are you thinking on Klay Thompson over-under? That feels like a pretty good bet out there for probably an active bet tonight, especially with the direct contact with the fans, and the fans definitely hearing that and going in with a plan. That fan base up there, they're the fourth team out there.
Yeah.
Right? You got the Celtics.
Sure.
Got the Warriors.
Sure.
You got the refs. And then those Celtics fans feel like they're the fourth team. And guess what? They're on the home team side. It is a handicap match in their eyes. It is a 2-on-1 with one person looking on. I feel like it is going to be tough for Klay and Draymond tonight. Klay going to be a guy that's going to answer? I think he will, personally.
Yeah, Klay has always been notoriously Game 6 great. That's his claim to fame. We are Game 5 tonight. His over-under, though, is 19.5, which is...
So over feels... Yeah. This feels like the bet of the night.
See, and people were talking about, Boston's going to be super loud tonight. Were they not loud for the last game?
No, but I think now Boston knows that they are hearing them, and it is affecting them. So they're going to...
It might be affecting.
Oh, we are winning games for it. Yeah. Oh, shit. They just had a Super Bowl parade yesterday for the win that they just had in the finals. Let's go ahead and do that thing again. I think, personally, that's normally what happens with drunk whites. A lot of drunk whites in that particular arena. And I think, speaking of drunk whites.
Yeah, I mean, these fans in New York.
What?
What the hell?
That was tweeted as fight by Rangers Tampa Bay fan. That was a cheap shot, cold clock, left hook, khaki sweats, Yoggers guy.
Bad.
That's assault, brother.
Yeah, let's remember, and we have tried, literally, I feel like we were the Paul Revere of this whole thing.
Yeah, time and time again.
Now, if Paul Revere was real.
Hey, look, come on. He was real, Tony. Don't you fucking say that about Paul Revere.
Get some respect for Israel Bissell, please.
Listen, whatever the case.
He was there, too.
Obviously,
Bissell.
all great people. But we were one if by land, two if by sea, and we on the opposite shore will be ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm that as we're getting back into society, punches are coming back too.
Yeah.
So you need to, when everybody was home for 2 years, a year and a half, in the confines of their own house, not saying that everybody didn't experience, maybe sibling or whatever, little fisticuffs, because that does happen growing up, I understand. But I think a lot of people are getting a little bit too comfortable in the confines of their own house with nobody else around them. Yeah. Now, granted, there is an entire mental health situation for people being locked up, isolated, alone, on house arrest, all by themselves in, solitary confinement, basically, some people for how many years. And that'll be discussed probably never 20 years from now.
Right.
But it should be at least. But once you get back outside of that solitary confinement and there's other people, some people just ain't with your shits.
No.
You know what I mean? And last night, after the Tampa Bay Lightning cover, -1.5, at the Rangers in Madison Square Garden, I mean, that was one of the cheapest shots I've ever seen in my entire life out of nowhere. But follow up, there's a chance, there's some people that are unreasonably upset about a sporting event, and if you're at a game and you're wearing the other team's jersey, listen, head on a fucking swivel. We don't think what he did was right at all. Should not happen. But reality will happen. Head on a swivel in enemy territory in the sports world. That needs to be remembered at all times.
I was going to ask because I didn't see the clip. Was he wearing a Lightning jersey?
Yes.
Tom close.
Was he happy about the win?
Yes.
So he kind of was asking for it.
No. See, Tone is potentially one of the guys that.
Yeah, I would never, but I also would never wear like my team's jersey into an opposing away arena.
Okay, so to add to that point, there was this one weekend I went to Philadelphia because some kid I knew was in Philadelphia. Pens were playing Flyers there. I was trying my best to get great tickets, and I was going to walk in there with a Sidney Crosby jersey. Wasn't able to get tickets because it was literally like 2 hours before the game. We found out the game was happening. Weren't able. Could have got tickets, but they would have been shitty tickets. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So, but if I would have got in there, there's 100% chance I'm getting punched in the face by the time I leave that place.
Probably, yeah.
You know, and you should remember that all the way through. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning fan that was walking out, I don't know if he was intoxicated as well. It was the end of the game. He let his guard down, but need to stay on P's and Q's when in enemy territory and you are openly cheering, especially if it's a hostile environment. It felt like the Rangers' environment. I don't know, there's a lot of khakis, but I guess there is a lot of uptightness with the suits over there. I don't think he could have expected that out of nowhere, but you got to keep your eyes peeled there. That was a knockout, though.
Yeah.
That was bad. There's going to be some sort of repercussions to that. I assume civil law, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, I believe he's already been charged with like 6 separate things.
And don't be cheap shotting people.
No.
Okay, don't be doing it. And we can start now. No more cheap shots.
That's the problem, though, is you see something like this last night and it gets, 6,000 retweets. Some guy's like, oh, okay.
That could be me.
Sounds good. Next week, if Tampa drops one and, Colorado's in town, and some guys, maybe just smiling too much, I'm going to fucking knock him out and get, 8,000 retweets on Twitter.
Well, this one video on Twitter has 2.2 million, 2.4 million views already overnight.
I'm watching this right now. Shout out the Rangers fans, though, for
Helping.
making sure he was not dead.
Yes, I think there was a contingency of Rangers fans that were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, fuck this guy and his team, but also, like, what the fuck?
I think somebody literally says, is that guy dead?
Well, there's probably a lot of booze, and there's probably assholes like Connor and Tony walking around. No, you would have stopped and helped the guy, obviously, but you would have first said loud, "Is that guy dead?
Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, right over there."
But I would like to be clear. I would never do that to somebody.
But just know, sports fans, like, you make sports look bad when you do this type of shit.
Yeah.
Though. Like, that needs to be like you guys make us look bad whenever shit like this happens. I understand some people get irrationally upset, and there's people that have temper issues and rage problems and all that shit in all walks of society. And I think it's good for sports, and that's something that sports provides people that maybe don't have a connection to anything else in their world. This team is literally my family. This team is my being. This team is my reason every single week. I grew up in Pittsburgh. The Steelers set the tone of happiness, okay, every single week on Sundays growing up. I don't know what it is like anymore. I'm not there. But in my house, in our entire neighborhood, basically all the people I interacted with, the Steelers set the tone on the happiness there. So there's people that live and die with their teams. Don't be a fucking asshole.
No.
But if you are in an away game, there are fucking assholes out
head on
there.
a swivel.
You got to keep your head on a swivel. That's a scary situation there.
Yeah, as somebody who will wear the opposing team's jersey to
I forced you to cover it up until we got into the suite just because I strictly didn't want to hear you dealing with bullshit.
That's right. And that was just a Colts-Jets game. I actually wore the Mac Jones jersey to the Colts-Patriots game. And when you are winning, it's very easy to start
hold on,
running your
follow
mouth.
up. Let's add on to that. I don't think the Colts fans are known for being like
Absolutely not.
Like I think New York,
Yeah.
Boston,
Sure.
Philly, Pittsburgh, even if you in the wrong parts of the fucking stadium there.
Yeah, I mean,
All the
I wore my
Scousers.
when Zito and I went to the Bears-Packers game in Chicago. I wore my Rodgers jersey, and I think if it would have been like a closer game, and it's like that's definitely a situation where like, oh yeah, someone will swing on me. if I'm-
Chicago.
Yeah.
I had
That's
to
what
call
was-
off the dogs for him.
Well, Z's one.
Good guy.
Z's one of the mayors up there.
Yeah, made man.
You see Caruso go, I love Zito.
I
You know
know
what
you
Caruso
do,
said?
Z.
What did you say?
He said, yeah, I know you do, Z, whenever you said, fuck Grayson Allen or something like that.
Fuck Grace Allen. He took the podcast down yesterday.
Who?
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, he did. What happened there, Ty? What did take place? Because there's a lot of people, for those that don't know, because we never market it, ever. One retweet of Gumpy's tweets every single day is what I do, and it's not even from us. We have a podcast every single day that goes out after the show, and it's basically a culmination of this show, and then it just goes out as one big podcast, 2.5 hours sometimes. Podcasts are
sometimes 3+.
supposed to be 30 minutes long, they say. Like all stats say podcasts supposed to be 30 to 45 minutes, unless it's like one of those mysteries or a story or something like that. If you're doing one, that's the expected majority listening rate, blah, blah, blah. Now, there are people that listen to the end. So if you were to cut, if we're to cut the podcast down to 45 minutes, like all the stats saying people say to do or whatever, there's going to be people that are pissed that listen to the end and they're like, hey, I still got another hour and a half on my ride or my run that I have to do. What the fuck are you doing? So we put it out as an entire podcast. We don't do it. Fucking Ty ruined it. After how many podcasts have we put out?
1,000 plus. I don't know exactly how many.
1,000 plus podcasts
Ty.
we put out. Ty's been a producer, basically all of them, but maybe 5. And this morning, got a lot of tweets saying Ty fucked it up. Ty, what happened out there?
Well,
they were calling Ty an intern. They're calling him Herbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, oh, the intern ruined it. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
because
oh,
Herbie had a
geez.
couple hiccups last week when
Yes.
he was kind of doing it, and so I was like, all right, we need to pump the brakes on this. But no, I uploaded the exact same file that I did yesterday. I'd hope that people don't think I'm a big enough moron to just cut off the Caruso interview in the middle of it and end the podcast. So I put it on there. It was good. It was about 2 hours and 13 minutes, I think. I wake up this morning. You send me a couple of these tweets. I look on Apple and Spotify. It's just like 1 hour and 46 minutes. They somewhere in the process of it getting uploaded, it just clipped out, the last 35 minutes
Gonna
of the
happen
show.
with tech.
So what are you gonna do?
Great
So this
talent.
morning I just popped in the same one that I put in yesterday, did the exact same thing, and now we're good to go.
I bet Ty.
Good
It's a
work,
joke.
Ty.
Ty, do you think we never give you any credit at all for being a podcast producer every single day?
Well, it's evolved quite a bit. Like, I think what I used to have to do, like when we didn't have a live show every day, like that was actually hard work because we would record for a while and you'd be sitting there putting the individual markers down and go back and take. Now it's streamlined to the point where the clips are already there. It's a very easy process. So I don't need
Hey, Ty,
adulation. and-
we didn't
and-
make a top 10 list for our podcast, but maybe next year.
Yeah,
we
maybe
will.
next year.
Ty, we appreciate you,
job,
buddy.
Ty.
Appreciate
the
you
old
guys.
line of jobs, So if you're not perfect and nothing happens to you, you don't get recognized. But as soon as you fuck up and get a sack
Well,
or a
people
holding
are not
penalty,
happy.
what the hell? Why are you suck at your job all of a sudden?
Hey, well, just fucking put the thing up on the air.
It's that easy.
Why, guys, why are you cutting stuff out of the show?
It ain't that hard.
So,
Thank you, Zeke.
How are we ever going to get on a top 10 list if that happens?
That's what I'm saying.
well, judging by those nominees, we have no shot anyway.
Good point.
So
Who else was
if
on
you
there?
guys are hoping for that, just keep dreaming, okay?
God damn it.
What, our horses aren't high enough?
Tony, that's not what I was saying.
Asshole,
These
you.
shows are just
Jeez.
next level, Tony.
All right. Before Pomp comes on, let's cover Devante Adams speaking about Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Because Aaron spoke about this at the press conference or at his locker. I forget which one it was, where he said he and Devante talked very thoroughly throughout this entire process that ended with Devante Adams going to the Las Vegas Raiders on a record-breaking deal at the time. And then information came out that the Packers had matched or even made a better offer. And it was like, why? What's the deal? A lot of people were making up reasons for why Devante had left. And there was maybe some drama potentially that was being brought up. People saying he hated playing with Aaron Rodgers because the attention Aaron Rodgers got, even though Aaron and Devante have come out and said like they love each other like literal family. Now Devante spoke about it at mandatory minicamp, and this is what Devante had to say.
Okay. Have you had conversations with Aaron since leaving Green Bay, and what was that goodbye like?
Oh yeah, I mean we've talked multiple times, and we talked throughout the whole process too. And he was aware of where I stood, and I was aware of where he stood, and we had talks just like what he said the other day. He mentioned we had talks about his future and what he thinks his duration in Green Bay or just football in general would look like, and that played into my decision as well because where I'm in my career. And this isn't a shot at anybody, any other quarterbacks or in Green Bay. I love Jordan Love, especially. He's a great guy, but I got aspirations of doing really, really big things and being remembered. And I just, it wasn't really a point in my career that I was willing to sacrifice, Aaron not being there, after a year or two. So my decision was to be here, and he respected that. He understood that, it has a lot to do with where I want to raise my kids, family, being closer to home. I mentioned that to you guys when I first came up here. I hadn't, my grandparents never seen me play in 8 years, so to be able to have my family closer and, the suites are a lot more expensive here, but now I can have pack the suite out with the family and and kind of do that whole thing. So we've had a lot of great talks. He was in the match. I'm sure y'all know about that, and wanted me to go play a practice round with him in the morning, and I definitely would have gone and done that, but we had practice here, so he didn't have to be out there just yet. So but yeah, we've had a lot of good talks, man. He understands where I'm coming from. I understood where he was coming from, so we kind of just left it at that.
Okay, so a couple things. Obviously, Devante and Aaron still on good terms.
Yep.
Okay, so that is tough, I assume, for some people in the media to hear that hate Aaron Rodgers and everything about him.
Sure.
On follow-up, he spoke to Aaron more than anybody else, probably even like A.J. Hawk or anybody else.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Aaron, legit, and everybody got mad at him for taking the attention of the match and saying that the end might be near. Sounds like that is a very real conversation. He had to be very honest with Devante because Devante's like, hey, man, I need to fucking make a business decision for myself, too. You are a large part of this, probably the biggest part of this. What are your thoughts? Sounds like Aaron is nearing the end of his football career. I'm excited for him if that's the case because hopefully he'll be able to find something that he absolutely loves. He seems to be an incredibly deep-thinking person, seems to be a good business. His investments, I guess, have done very, very well. He's into a lot of different shit, but I think that is something that Green Bay Packers fans should look at this next year or even the year after. Even though Tom Brady is still going and playing, that has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. Those timelines do not sync up and mean they're going to be the exact same. It feels like Aaron potentially is legitimately at the point where he's like, all right, maybe another year or two. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a non-story because I think like 2 years would be like the best case scenario. Gets 2 more years, retires in Green Bay. But like you said, like Brady has kind of warped everyone's thoughts of how this goes. Like you can't play forever. He's going to be, this year he's turning 39 or 40 or whatever, and it's just like all the stuff Devante mentioned too. I see a lot of Packers fans like kind of like almost pissy with him. It's like you can't knock that guy. He laid out everything. It's like, hey, listen, I want to be a Hall of Famer. And
closer to my family.
Yeah, exactly.
Closer to my family. I want to be a Hall of Famer. I just told you. You should be thanking me. I just told you that Aaron's probably playing for like a year or two. Who knows?
Right.
And everything in there. No disrespect to Jordan Love. You said he just hadn't seen it yet.
Why would you? And then you look at like his actual relationship with Derek Carr. Like they are very, very close. Like. Why wouldn't you do what he did? I don't know. I don't know how you could have any ill will towards Devante or Aaron at this point.
I would assume that Aaron would wish that he would have picked to stay in Green Bay
for sure. Every fan does too,
and figure it out. But I'm happy to hear they're on good terms. And whenever we think about the future for Aaron, I talked about his investments. I always wonder, like, how do these people find out and know what their actual value is? Well, a lot of us just go to one Twitter account at Joe Pompliano.
That's right.
This fucking Twitter account has everything. It kind of showed up in our life out of nowhere. It was like, oh, this is what Darren Ravel we thought was going to be.
Yeah.
Right? This is what this Twitter. And then you realize, oh, there's not just one of them. There's another. There's brothers here. Hey, the Pompliano brothers. Yeah, they're all into finance and business, and it feels like they know more shit than anybody else, and they lay it out in a fashion in which we can all understand. There's a lot of athletic business happening right now, and there's no better person to chat with than Joe Pompliano.
Yeah, Joe!
What's up, dude?
What an intro, Pat. Thank you.
So we had a weather guy, meteorologist, named Joe Nardo, okay, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So your name, Joe Pompliano, is just like such a wonderful thing for us to say. And I believe that is why you got so popular amongst our office, strictly because we enjoyed saying your name. Then the shit you started putting out, it was like, all right, this guy's a real, like an asset to the internet and to the sports world. So we appreciate the hell out of you, bud. The intro was well deserved, I think.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I have 4 brothers, so we're all over the internet, which is probably why you keep seeing Pompliano pop up everywhere. And it gets overwhelming, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah, you guys do like this is how you do the internet. Like how are you guys business school people? Did you grow up in business? How did you all kind of gravitate to the same thing and be very good at it?
I just always had an interest in business. I used to work at JP Morgan, which is where the business side comes from. But, I love sports. I grew up with 4 brothers. We played everything you could imagine. So the sports side, and it was like a natural kind of collision of why don't I just write about things I like on the internet?
So do you guys project what you think things are, or how do you find this information? Because, there's always like the Google net worth. and it is nowhere near accurate. But the only thing that's going off of is whatever articles potentially pitched how much somebody was making, and then Google, I think, just has a ability to calculate and add those all up. But some of those numbers we have learned from some of our close friends, and now being a part of it, are nowhere near accurate. How do you get that type of shit? And it is so valuable. I think you understand that you guys are some of the only people that are able to find that stuff.
Well, let's use an example, right? To your point, they're usually typically inaccurate. Forbes is one of the publications that probably do it best. And what they typically do is they look at all of your assets, right? So LeBron James was recently named a billionaire.
Hey,
they look at everything that he's invested
LeBron.
in. Yeah. Incredible, right? Him and now Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan are the three athletes that have reached $1 billion net worth. So more athletes have made $1 billion, but these three have that net worth, right, after taxes and everything else. So what they do is they look at all his investments, Blaze Pizza, Beats by Dre, the companies he started, Spring Hill, and they try to value what his stake in those businesses are worth, add it all up after earnings and taxes and everything like that. The problem is a lot of this is secretive, right? So I'll give you another example.
Very secretive.
Peter Thiel is a famous venture capitalist. Forbes had his net worth at, I think it was $2 or $3 billion. It came out later on that he had $5 billion in his 401k, right, in his retirement account. So not only was it insanely not accurate, but it was actually double in his retirement account alone. They adjusted it. He's now worth $10 billion or so. So that's probably an extreme example, but you could see how that could happen with athletes too.
Yeah, so it's just valuation of shit. So like I saw the Spring Hill companies is LeBron's, this came from one of your tweets. We actually put this together basically from one of your tweets. The Spring Hill company is $300 million. Fenway Sports Group, which he's an investor in, who now owns the Penguins.
Oh, yeah.
$90 million. Other teams as well. Shut up. Real estate, $80 million. Blaze Pizza, $30 million. And then cash and other investments, $500 million. Now, $500 million is cash and other investments is a hilarious thing just to put out there. But like the Spring Hill company, you are projecting, and Forbes is projecting, that $300 million is the valuation of that company, not what that company has earned.
So they raised money last year, right? They brought in capital from a firm called Redbird Capital Partners, Nike, and others. And the valuation when they did that, when they got the investment, was $750 million. And LeBron is the largest shareholder, so I don't necessarily do public math, but the 300 out of 750 is his percentage that he owns of the business, right? So other people own part of the business. He owns 300 million of the 750.
So it goes off the valuations.
Yeah. Did you guys see LeBron is trying to buy a team in Vegas?
Yeah, he wants to build. He said, I want to buy one or own one. I forget the case, but they built 2 basketball arenas over there already. They're ready for a team. How much would that cost, Pomp, you think?
$2.5 billion probably is what they're saying. You basically have to buy a new team at whatever the current valuation is, right? And the other owners are giving you part of their media deal money, so you have to incentivize them. Maybe you go a little higher. But so they say he's worth $1 billion. That's not enough to buy a team on your own. You obviously have to bring other people in if you're going to do that. But he did something very unique that I think is probably worth talking about that was smart last year. He converted, everyone knows he used to own part of Liverpool, right? He converted basically part of his marketing rights. Instead of taking cash from Fenway Sports Group, he took a 2% ownership stake in Liverpool back in 2011, so a decade ago.
Scouser!
Yeah, that investment grew, right? From I think it was worth 6 or 7 million at the time. It went up to 50 million plus as the team grew in value. He converted that though last year, so he's no longer just an owner of Liverpool. He converted it to the parent company, Fenway Sports Group, which owns Liverpool, the Red Sox, Fenway Park, all these other assets. They went and bought the Penguins. Yeah. They raised a bunch of money, and now what they're going to do is, I think at least, they're going to be the ones that are going to go try to buy this team and put it in Vegas, and LeBron's going to run it.
That's awesome for LeBron, isn't it? I love this is just like you. I enjoy the business side of it so much, like the back end, who's making the decisions, because there was obviously that documentary Broke that came out that kind of casted quite an image over all professional athletes, mostly the NFL guys, that 80% of you are going to go on to be broke within 2 years of retirement. Now it feels like business is much more, I don't want to say in the blood of like the younger generation, but it feels like that is the case. Everybody is kind of an entrepreneur. Everybody understands their value nowadays. What do you think that's because of? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because the internet, everybody can be their own business, their own entity? And do you think that's why most younger athletes and younger business people in general have that entrepreneurial mindset from the beginning?
Yeah, I think it's just become cool, right? If you look at what people praise online, it's the Kevin Durant, it's LeBron James. It's even what Draymond Green is doing, right, with this podcast, what you guys are doing with this show. It's become really cool to succeed in business and do it on a public stage. And there's probably no one that has a better opportunity to do that than the athletes like we're talking about.
It's insanity, isn't it? It is absolutely insanity. I just learned that the valuation of somebody is what makes them a billionaire or not, by the way, through this conversation. So Tiger Woods, he's a billionaire again? Was he ever a billionaire before?
So this is where people are confused. Forbes wrote a very similar article in 2009, I believe, and they called him sports' first billion-dollar man. And what they meant by that was that he had crossed $1 billion in earnings. But that doesn't make him a billionaire because there's taxes, there's everything else, right? So he had crossed $1 billion in earnings. Now he's made, I think they said 1.7 or 1.8, and he's finally crossed $1 billion net worth, right? So the difference is that once you strip out the taxes, once you strip out everything that he spent, et cetera, then he's still now over $1 billion. All of his assets combined are worth $1 billion.
Can you put LeBron's back up? So that ain't enough with taxes, right?
No. So this is his assets now. This is what he owns, right? If he was to sell the positions, then sure, it goes down. But at this juncture, he owns $300 million of equity in Spring Hill. And when you add up all of his assets, it's worth
but in real life, it's not, though, because if he was to make that actual cash and become an actual billionaire, which would be, I guess, money in pocket, is that what an actual billionaire is? Or is the actual billionaire having assets that are $1 billion?
No, just assets. Yeah, he's a billionaire because all of his assets added up equally. It doesn't matter, Pat. It doesn't matter. He's got a lot of money, right?
Yes, shit. I agree. I agree completely. But the title of billionaire, I think we are all kind of learning right now through this, and I'm incredibly pumped for these athletes becoming billionaires. I assume Peyton's very close.
Yeah.
I would assume that Peyton is on his way. Which sports do you think are going to start producing more? I think the NBA is going to be. They're going to have more and more and more. I think the NBA has the mind, mostly because they don't have to wear helmets. It is a social media sport. Everybody talks about the networks and the viewers being down for NBA games compared to like NFL games. Yeah, but on social, the NBA runs that shit. I assume we're going to see more of this. Don't you, Joe?
I definitely think we do. Someone joked when I tweeted it out this morning and said every starting point guard in the NBA is eventually going to be a billionaire. Right, because not only are the contracts getting bigger, but everyone is getting those max deals. And if those continue to escalate, we'll get to that point. The other people are like Roger Federer. I assume he's probably up there, right? He did that deal with Uniqlo where he made hundreds of millions of dollars, and he owns a good chunk of the business. There's soccer players in Europe that no one even knows how much those guys make, like Messi and Ronaldo and them. I assume they're pretty close. But yeah, this is just going to happen more and more.
F1 is hilarious. You love that shit. Why do you love it? Because just all the money's over there. Every company that is worth, it's like what, Fortune 10 basically companies are all into F1. Why is that? Has it always been that way?
Well, it's a money sport for sure. It's always been that way. Yeah, Rolex is the historically the largest sponsor of the series. I went to the race down here in Miami, and the T-shirt was $100. Right, like it's just a money sport. So it's very fascinating to talk about in that context. But I've always loved racing, and the thing that I really like about it is how popular it's becoming in North America now. I'm sure you guys have seen the Netflix series by this point, and it's certainly getting popular. There was about 500,000 people maybe that were watching races before, and now there's over 1 million. So that'll continue to grow, and maybe they get an American driver, but it's just a fun sport to watch.
Graham Rahal, get his ass in there. Go ahead, Ty. He's friends of mine. I would love that. It would be great if he got into the wealthiest sport of all time.
Well, you guys are in Indy. Did you go to Indy 500 or no?
Come on, Joe.
Go ahead, Monaco. It's Monaco.
We're F1.
Go ahead, Ty.
Pomp, just speculating, who do you think the next NFL team will be to go up for sale? Especially we've heard the reports that someone maybe wanted to pay $6 billion for the Broncos, but Robson Walton ended up getting it for much less than that. Which team do you see maybe like a guy like Bezos or Elon Musk or someone going after in the near future in the NFL?
Well, I think Washington's an interesting one, right? Because there's some dynamics there that aren't just, hey, maybe the owner wants to sell. Maybe something happens there that could force them to do that. So that's an interesting one. But it's hard to say, right? Because these teams just don't go up for sale often. I think it was 2018 was a sale, right, for the Panthers. And then before that, it was the Bills, I believe, in 2011. So only a couple in a decade. So it's tough to tell. Usually it involves someone passing away in the family or something like that. Obviously, what happened with the Seahawks maybe could be a move where the family took over ownership and maybe they offload it. So things like that, not necessarily someone just deciding they want to sell it.
You don't think so? You don't think that Josh Harris allegedly being able to spend $5 billion cash right now, and that's what he was going to do for the Broncos, perk some ears, or no? You don't think that's enough for how wealthy these people are to really give up a cash cow that is an NFL team?
Well, just look what valuations have done over the last few years, right? Not only the cash that's coming in, but these new media deals and all the money surrounding the sport, sports betting, et cetera, streaming partners. Like, this is going to blow up valuations even more, in my mind at least. And I think that if you're able to hold it for another even 4, 5, 6, 7 years, then you're in a place where the valuation has drastically.
That was our Diamond Hands days.
Yeah, that's right.
We didn't know much about what was going on, but we would just yell, "Hold!" You got deep into that, didn't you? I remember seeing you tweet about that, and also crypto. I feel like you just naturally found your way into both of those things. And how did it work out? Not great? Good? Were we still doing?
Well, I don't mess around much in the stock market, but I definitely hold a lot of Bitcoin, which I'm sure you guys have talked about on the show, and you've had people on here that are probably interested in it. But yeah, it was a fun time, certainly, with everything happening with, I think you guys are alluding to the Diamond Hands thing and what they're doing with GameStop and all of that. But I don't mess around with that much other than just tweeting about it.
Okay, Joe. Now, if this is not about sports, and Connor has a question, so is Tone, probably about sports, but since we're here, I need to ask you, because you are a crypto guy. I believe you even have a podcast about it. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's a big deal. What is the difference between Bitcoin and the stock market if we have no clue what controls either of those fucking things?
Well, Bitcoin is sound money. It's going to eventually, in my mind, at least replace other money that's out there, right? So we could do an entire segment, an entire show probably on this. But the easiest way to think about it is it's money that no one can mess with, right? The government cannot mess with it.
But it goes down, way, way down. Then it goes way up. If it's not controlled by anybody or anything, that means what?
Well,
it can
so
go
it's based
down
on
whenever.
supply and demand, right? If the supply and demand is unequal, then the price will move. There's volatility for sure. It's gone up a lot. It's gone down a lot. We're still in this phase now where not only are a lot of people finding out about it, discovering about it, learning about it, and doing all these things, but it's very volatile about what's happening on in the overall market. If you look at Netflix, Amazon, Apple, even any of these other businesses, they've lost tremendous value over the last few months due to broader things that are happening on in the economy, right? So I think Bitcoin is one of those bets where I obviously probably think about it differently than some other people, but it's one of those things where I feel comfortable holding for a long period of time and not necessarily worrying about how it looks on a day-to-day basis.
Hold! That's what you're saying. But doesn't it have follow the same exact path as the stock market?
Not historically. It has for the last 6 months. Which is probably what you're alluding to. It's gone down tremendously over it's cut in half since its all-time high, and now it's traded in this range. But historically, it's been actually uncorrelated to the stock market and bonds and everything else, where when those underperform, it's outperformed and vice versa. But yeah, I mean, historically, over the last decade, it's the best performing asset, bar none. So I think when you zoom out a little bit and you hold, you're doing just fine.
I wasn't smart enough to understand the stock market. Everybody was trying to talk to me and CFO Phil, pitching us why they're the smartest person to hand my money over to them. Okay, so I worked my dick off to get money, and now I'm just supposed to hand it over to you, and you're going to make more of it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, all right, let's see how this goes. And I never could figure out, why does it go down, why does it go up? And they're like, well, it depends on not the same answer you just gave, but an entire quarterly earnings and production and rise. It was like, yeah, but there's some companies that stink and still go up. And it's like, it makes no sense. And then also, as soon as I got money, 2009, everybody that I met that had money had lost all of their money in 2008 on the stock market. So I'm supposed to go in there, first time ever sensing any cash at all, and not be a complete skeptic when every millionaire I had ever met at that point in my locker room was like, I lost fucking 7 last year. I lost 10 last year. Where? Did you even enjoy it? No, I gave it to this guy who did this. I'm like, well, I'm going to enjoy mine. If it's fucking going to all go away anyways, I'm going to enjoy it. And then this Bitcoin came along, and I like outlaws. I like, hey, this one's not controlled by anybody. I'm here. And I have not been able to understand it yet. As soon as I could find out why it goes up and why it goes down, and it be like an actual answer and like the whole thing. Not that supply and demand is not an actual answer, but who controls that? Nobody. So it's like...
We'll do a whole episode on it, or I'll call you at some other point to talk about it, because it probably takes more than we have here. But what do you do now? Do you invest, or do you just focus on your business?
Yeah. Everything goes
Yeah.
into this. Everything.
That's the smart thing to do, right? Because you'll do much better on that if those things grow and everything else than you will in the
Well, at least
stock
I know, like,
Mm-hmm.
where it went and why it went, you know? And I think this is me just not being an educated human. You know, I do not come from the, hey, when we get money, we're going to invest the money world, or that these are the same people that say, like, oh, these athletes are idiots because they don't know how to spend their money or save their money. It's like, yeah, you classify me as one of those idiots if I didn't get lucky a couple different times, because it's hard to trust people that are in the money world. It's hard to get into the whole thing. But I do appreciate guys like you coming out trying to educate folks on ways to make more money in the future, because I think it's financially safe and sound. But I'm too fucking dumb for it. So I'd rather just go buy 100 shots at a place.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd rather go do that. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Joe, you mentioned point guards in the NBA, but is it like crazy to think that every quarterback in the NFL is probably going to be a billionaire, especially some of these young guys like Mahomes, Josh Allen, Herbert, and Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, even just because their deals are only going up, just like with the media deals that you mentioned?
Yeah, so not only are the deals going up, but we've had record inflation, right, which goes back to the previous point that we were talking about. So the money is getting larger, the deals are getting larger, et cetera. But I actually talk about this quite often, right? Patrick Mahomes, I think, is one of the people that's probably in a position better than anyone to become a billionaire rather quickly, because he has this massive deal now, and certainly other people have followed that up too. But he got, what was it, $500 million or something like that, right? And not only did he get a lot of cash up front when he was relatively young,
463 or 453 or so, or 443. We were lied to, Pomp. They lie about everything out here.
Yeah, well, the agent, what is it? The agent makes it seem a little bigger than it might have been, and there's numbers, guarantees, and all of that, right? But it's a business, and ultimately, what he's done though is he's gotten a lot of cash early on, and he's able to go invest a lot of this stuff now. He's invested in some great companies outside of that, Whoop, Hyper Ice, etc. And this money will continue to grow and compound for years to come. So, like in my mind, yeah, if he doesn't get hurt, everything goes how it's going right now, he'll definitely become a billionaire. And then if you look at the other guys in line after that, Josh Allen, everyone else, yeah, they're going to be doing it also.
Robson Walton was able to buy the Broncos with a $465 billion check. Who's the bank for that?
Himself. He's got 60, 70 billion, right?
Does he have 60, 70
he's probably
billion
not going
cash?
to pay cash. Maybe he'll do something else. But he's got enough money. That's why they took him. He could write the biggest check of anyone.
Where do they put that?
What do you mean?
Where is that money?
He has most of it is held in Walmart stock. This is actually a crazy stat. I think I saw the other day that the Walmart family, they get paid $3 billion in dividends from the stock alone each year. Right? That's how much money that those guys have over there, which is just absurd to think about. That's the family, right? Not just him, but he's worth $60, $70 billion. He's instantly the wealthiest owner in the NFL. And I know you had Andrew Brand on the show the other day. I think that's a large reason why they took him, was because now he can write those checks that other owners may not be able to do.
Kroenke can, he can, Tepper can. Do you see a trend? With the emergence of more billionaires than ever in the history of billionaires and money somehow, I don't know how, right? I guess it's just there's more money out there now than ever before. Yeah. Seems like that is something too. Supply, demand. I don't know.
So I'll give you a good example. Mark Laurie was on my podcast, who now owns the Timberwolves with Alex Rodriguez, right? And he told me, I asked him why he bought the team, and he said, there's very few things that you can do in life that you can have a lot of fun and still make a lot of money on, right? He said he owned horses for horse racing, lost a shit ton of money. He owned vineyards, had a lot of fun, lost a shit ton of money though. So he was like, I'm looking at these valuations of these sports teams in the NFL, the NBA, MLB, et cetera, and they're going up tremendously. They're not really correlated with the stock market, right? It doesn't matter if the stock market goes down 20% because it's illiquid and the valuation still goes up. So if I can put my money here, have a lot of fun doing it, and still make money, like that's a win-win for a lot of these billionaires.
Recession-proof too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because they're always going to get viewers. It's almost... It's an untouchable wagon right now. I think it's going to become a lot harder for teams to hang on to teams or families or owners to hang on to teams because the offers that are going to come. Elon could buy every team, right? So could Bezos if he wanted in every league?
Yeah, they have more money than they know what to do with.
How does that happen, do you think? And what do they do with that money? How do you think that gets redistributed out through the world? It doesn't, does it? Or does that just stay within the Bezos family forever?
Well, it depends how it works, right? They created companies that they own a large percentage of, and those companies have accrued value from their services. So in Amazon's case, for sure, Tesla's case, for sure, SpaceX, et cetera. So they own equity in those companies. Yeah. But Elon Musk, right? Like he's a good example. Yeah. They don't have hundreds of billions of dollars in cash in their bank account, right? It's how much the business is valued for. They own basically shares of that business, or even you could just think about it as like pieces of paper that say they own the business. And they would have to sell those shares to get the cash to do it. So a lot of it's not liquid. He couldn't just go buy all these teams tomorrow if he wanted to. And the wealth gets redistributed because the business has accrued a lot of value. They hire employees, they make products, they do all these different things.
Yeah, I understand that and how it goes, but I'm just like, Bezos at some point in his life could just say, you know what, fuck it. I want to buy everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do you, because his family's going to have money forever. 60 billion, hundreds of, 300 billion, what, 600 billion, whatever the fuck he has. I guess that's what the Saudi thing is, $600 billion.
Bottomless pit.
Like that money is just going forever. You can do whatever you want forever with that, right? I mean, that is legit. How, like.
The LIV Golf thing is one of the most fascinating things I've probably ever seen in sports business, because you're dealing with someone who has this pit of money that it's bottomless, right? There's no stopping them if they want to keep going. They could do this for a decade if they wanted to, and they could continue to get players if they really wanted to and pay them these absurd amounts of money. So the PGA Tour is in a really difficult place, right? Because now you're competing with someone who has no regard for profitability. And people are online saying, yeah, they need a TV deal, they need all these things. And maybe they get one, but ultimately,
I don't think they had 100,000
$500 million worth of deals without.
Pump, they had 100,000 people watching live yesterday.
They'll get a deal.
I'm talking about from experience. You can make a lot of money. You get 100,000 people watching live. That's a fucking, and that's their first event. Now, granted, it could be the first pop. But they're at least accessible on YouTube to 100,000 people at one point. Like, everybody thinking they need a TV deal, It's like, I'm not 100%, to your point, I'm not 100% sure if they're right, if that's a right narrative or not.
Yeah, I just think about it in how the leagues make money, right? Most of these leagues make most of their money from media deals, whether it's the NFL, NBA, whatever. So that's a big piece of it, whether it's open-ended on YouTube or somewhere else. You can make money doing that. But they spent $500 million plus on players alone in guarantees. So they obviously don't care about a profit. They're not making any money relative to TV deals right now. So it's going to be an interesting game of chicken with the PGA to see kind of how they respond to all this.
Were those signing bonuses or contracts that they signed there?
It's not very clear, right? It's not clear how long they are. It's not very clear what they have to do for it.
Could be more.
Yeah.
Could be just a signing bonus, and with contracts coming on the other end.
Well, so if you're Phil or DJ, right? Do you go and sign for this league? I would assume that they would be like, put that in my bank account before I come over, right? Because you don't know if they're going to hold one event, 8 events, 100 events. It could stop at some point. You don't really know what's going on. It's a new league, right? And you're giving up a lot. Not only your reputation, the PGA, the majors, potentially all of that. I would assume a lot of these guys ask for a massive check up front.
Tone Diggs, your question for Joe Pomp. We don't want.
Hey, Joe, what's the fad that you're seeing in sports as far as athletes? Is it like I see like LeBron, MJ, The Rock, like they all have alcohol companies? Like, is that the new way that guys are investing their money is in companies like that they're trying to sell eventually?
Yeah, the alcohol thing's interesting because I think one of the reasons why I think LeBron was probably already hitting this before Forbes said that was because his new alcohol brand Lobos, I think it's going to be massive. I think it's going to be huge. Basically, everywhere you go, it's already there. It's huge. He's posting about it all the time, all of this. And the reason why they do the alcohol is because most people, some people certainly can, and some people will say they can, but most people cannot actually tell the difference between a good alcohol and maybe a bad one, right?
Whoa, Paul, don't be palate shaming. This guy's palate shaming right here on this show. Oh, wow.
I'm just saying, this is true. I'm in that category, right? I'm in that category.
Okay, me too. Yeah.
I think what they're able to do, though, is they're able to use their name, image, and likeness, and they're able to make a lot of money from it. But I think what we're seeing, to answer your question a little more broadly, is a lot of these athletes now are partnering with people to create companies, right? So if you're LeBron James, Spring Hill, he partnered with other people, Maverick and others, to create that business rather than just investing in a pre-existing business. And the same thing can be said for other people, right? Tom Brady, he's got this massive company, Autograph, now that does the NFTs and other stuff. He's a co-founder of the business. So instead of partnering with other people, you go in and you're a co-founder, you invest some money, and you have them run it day to day. It sounds like that's a new trend too.
NFTs are awesome, right? They're not complete bullshit.
I'm not big on the NFTs. I don't.
Whoa, Paul!
You guys own NFTs? That was surprising.
We got a Zion dunk.
Yeah, against the Kings. That's right.
$25 or something.
Yeah.
I was told that thing was going to go up to a couple thousand. I'll tell you what. Don't know where it is. I took a screenshot of it though, so
still have it.
Got it on my phone.
Some of this stuff might be valuable in the end, but 99% of it right now seems like it's kind of bullshit, right? And I think a lot of it is riding
Gary.
Bitcoin, to be honest.
What about Gary?
Well, I actually just got a text from Gary.
V?
What do you say?
Gary V, he's all in on that. Do you have to look at the other business people on the internet and be like, well, wait a minute, why is Gary V all in on the NFTs and I don't feel that way? How does that go? Do you guys joust? Do you guys joust?
No. I love Gary. I've talked about Gary plenty of times about it.
Same.
And I think what he did was genius, right? He's built this community. And I think his is probably one of those projects that you can point to and you say, okay, that makes sense because he's built this community of people. He's throwing conferences. He's adding value. There's other ones, right, where someone draws a picture on their computer, they sell it for $1 million, and you're like, that doesn't really make
Feels
much
like you
sense.
just robbed somebody. Yeah. That's where I'm sitting at. But also, once again, something I'm not smart enough to understand. So I just go ahead and stay out of it. I think that is a big time weapon for investors. If it's something you don't have a clue about, probably don't put your money there.
Yeah, well, someone like you, right? You're a good example because you're more focused on building your actual business, and you'll do way better there than you will on finding random NFT projects to buy and hopefully pump up and make money on, right? Like it's just a no-brainer for someone like you to spend your time, energy, and stuff on your actual business.
Well, it's very nice. It wasn't always this way. I do believe it was just because I am too much of a stooge, but you are not, and that's why we thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, follow him at Joe Pompliano. Joe Pompliano. Thank you, Paul. Oh, look, I got smarter there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, still don't know what the fuck's going on.
No idea.
So, I got more talking points I can use in my conversations with people, but also follow up. Still don't fully understand how it works. That's basically the stock market and Bitcoin and everything in a nutshell to me.
There it is.
And hour one's wrapping up. We'll see hour two on the other side.
Wow.
Feels like we got it in
Got
there.
it in, yeah. Absolutely.
I'll stop mid-sentence there. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of those suits, that grow up with a lot of money in that world. And I enjoy those conversations so much because the things that people will ask that they think like, oh, I'll sound like an idiot if I ask this question, I just say, because I am 100% confident that I've probably negotiated bigger deals than this person has. And I would like to hear what your thought is on this entire thing. So him saying like, what controls it? Just what controls it? Sounds like such a stupid question and nobody ever asked. And I've yet to get an answer that made me go, oh, okay, I trust that. That makes sense in there. Now, people have had great success in there, but I think they're also some of the ones that control it. So it's easy to play in a game that you control, I think. Now, I have nothing but respect for the people that try to get in there and like, hey, I'm a money mover in this investment. I got this portfolio. I got this and this. But then all you need is what? Some crooked mortgage shit to happen and then bang, it's all gone forever. It's like, I think there's very different ways to do it. I do it the dumb way. It's like, I'm going to enjoy it and we'll do this, what's real, and I will get to experience it. There's other people, though, that make so much money. Hey, there's some motherfuckers that get stupid rich off of that stuff. And I have no idea how, but I have nothing but respect for it.
Yeah, Buffett, he's multi-billionaire. He's big.
Still eats McDonald's.
Yeah, and his big thing right now is the buy stock. But that's why the NBA or sports in general feels like the only like absolute home run. This can't really die. And you think about all the players like
except for lacrosse.
Well, yeah, but that's part of the future. We're talking right now.
And so that's a long-term event. There's a lot of holds.
Yeah, a lot of diamond hands in lacrosse. But like you look at some of these contracts, obviously the quarterback contracts are going to be huge. And, when Kyler and all these come out, they'll probably be mind-bending as well. But even like Jokic just signed like a 5-year, $280 million deal. He's still in his 20s. He'll probably get 1 or 2 more of those contracts. It's absurd.
How about the valuation being just asset worth?
Oh, yeah, what your assets are? No idea. Didn't know that was a thing.
Because valuation, depending on what company you're in, can go from 12 to 15x your net profit or 20 to 25x your net profit, depending upon which business you're in and what the future of the business is potentially going in there. I learned a lot in that conversation about Pompliano.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff, but they'll never fucking know because nobody will ever.
Right.
Feels like you can just
about
say
everybody. Yeah,
cut all through games.
Feels like it's all just bullshit because they were $8 billion off on that one guy, and who knows how many more they were actually off. That was just what came out about his 401k. Then they're like, well, then we did the math on how much money he would have had to gross for it to go into his 401k. What was the match? Was it 2-to-1 from the company or what? Like that whole thing. So it's all a guessing game, but it sounds like they probably are pretty dialed in that whole aspect.
I don't know, $8 million maybe. Like being $8 billion off of someone's net worth is a pretty wide net.
I thought Magic was a billionaire, by the way. Magic Johnson.
Well, it's because he took Converse.
That's right.
If you recall, I've seen it in Showtime, winning
he
time.
own part of the Dodgers?
Yes,
Super time, star time.
I believe he is. a billionaire.
I swear that.
Yeah.
Magic-
Zito just Googled and said that the internet, that is the place that deems people are billionaires or not, says his broke ass has only made $620 million.
Well,
Let's get to a break.
We do know Forbes.
We will be back in the next hour. AJ Hawk's on a golf course. We will not be getting a call from them.
Oh, of course.
What the hell?
That's what he just said.
He just loves taking shows off.
He does.
Yeah.
That's
There's
a
going to be a couple
3-day
more,
weekend.
too. I remember he said, I told you this 2 weeks ago. It's like, okay. I mean, it's 4 months ago.
Yeah,
so I told me
decade.
that.
And no, you didn't.
But I think he did, actually.
Did he?
Yeah, but he said dates. It's like, is that next Friday? The Friday after that? Which
Next
Friday?
year?
Which Friday is that? Because I'm actually taking a Friday off here too,
Well-
coming up, and we're taking a week off.
But people.
So let's
need
not
to-
bury people too much here.
Well, but let's not forget that in your quest for $20 million, you didn't actually take any days off to work on your game.
Yet, because that's all we're taking those days off.
Yeah, but that's different. That's
Yeah,
tournament.
but you're working on your game.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, and that goes directly.
That's
with
competition.
That would
though.
contradict.
Working on the game is just like, hey, I'm just going out there to get better. This is a competition.
All right,
Sanctioned.
you're right. Hey, I believe you.
It's a sanctioned event.
Just make sure you have that yardage book dialed
I got
in.
it.
It's also content. So you're
Kind
technically
of
working.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Always then.
AJ's doing
you
fucking
go.
nothing.
Is anybody else working 24/7? Content doesn't sleep.
Bingo.
Shout out to the other internet companies out there, fucking doing it.
Good
Hell
luck.
yeah.
No, not good luck. Shout out to them. All the people that have to earn their viewership every single day. I got nothing but respect for that.
Yeah.
That's why the YouTube conversation will live. It's like they could post up on it. They probably have no connection to. Nah, they definitely do because I think they've probably.
Yeah, I was.
Might be in the same bag.
Yeah. We have next to no connection to YouTube. So if something doesn't work on our channel, there's basically nothing we can do about
No.
it. It's a great place. We got no bosses then either.
Yeah, true.
Unless they don't like what we're saying, then they hide us. Then we gotta.
True. That does happen.
In that
Shadow
case.
ban.
Then it is kind of we do have somebody controlling it.
Liv's
But
got 70 right now.
70,000.
On
Make
a
a lot of money
Friday.
off having $70,000 or 70,000 viewers every day. Not enough to pay back what they're doing. I know.
No.
They don't care what Pomp said.
Yeah. Bottomless.
When they show up at those majors, because all their other sponsors dropped them, are they wearing all black with LIV across the hat and the polos?
I
Like
hope.
NWO walking into those majors?
Find out next
And if
week.
one of them win, are they all going to go up there and do a full... Is it Ryder Cup every major?
It's possible.
Makes golf better.
You know what I mean? Is it Ryder Cup every major now going in? Fascinating. It's a weird time for golf. I'm excited to see what everybody does about it. I believe the golf, some of the golf reporters aren't exactly thrilled with PGA Tour's lack of response. Like, hey, PGA Tour, business-wise, you're going to have to respond as well, not just emails, you know?
Yeah.
Because what do they say? Money talks, bullshit walks.
That's right.
Bingo.
It's true everywhere. We're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line. Then we got Darius Butler joining us. Going to be great to have him back. He's up to something. Gabe Morenci maybe in the third hour.
Oh, here we go.
No response from him yet. Let's hope he's still doing his thing. And a lot more breaking news. You're the best. We'll see you in 4. You like Trey Lance, huh? You love the way he plays, you love the way he operates. How about how he handled the whole situation last year? I mean, this is isn't it a kind of awkward situation going on over there, or not at all?
I mean, some would say it's definitely awkward. I mean, you trade 3 first-round picks for a quarterback. Like, there's writing on the wall. Like, it is what it is. It's the NFL. It's a profession. Everyone's trying to bring in younger, better, cheaper players. And then that's just the way the league is. And so there's an awkwardness to it, I guess. But at the end of the day, we're all here on the same team, and we're trying to win Super Bowl. So it's the lucky thing that we have here at the Niners is I feel like we have a fantastic culture of guys that just want to get better every day, and we love everybody in our locker room. So, Jimmy G could have, he could have been a dick and said, it's not my job, not my responsibility to take care of this guy and put him under my wing. But instead what he did is he was professional every single day. He didn't complain one time. He showed up, he worked, he started, he got us to an NFC Championship game and helped Trey along the way. And so I thought Trey took a bunch of steps forward. And for Trey to become a really good quarterback in the NFL, he needs reps. And so once this kid gets a lot of reps, just watch out, because some of the things I've seen him do in practice kind of mind-boggling me, so I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, he's considered what? Great athlete, right? Because obviously Aaron waited behind Brett Favre for 3 years, right? And I wish, and I've said this publicly a lot, and I'm sure the Luck family doesn't like this, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year. Like, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year to see how he operates in the building, how you operate with equipment managers, training, like everything like that. Trey getting an opportunity to watch Jimmy G do this, who's from the Tom Brady mentor camp or whatever. Did he make leaps? Like, did you see leaps and bounds as him as a player, as a football, as an NFL guy? Or is it just like a consistent growth with him and he's kind of just chill?
Both. I think it's consistently gotten better, but like you could see, like Jimmy G is a professional through and through. Like Jimmy G takes notes every single meeting. He asks questions every meeting. Like he's in his books. And I think once Trey saw that, he was like, oh, I need to do all that and more. And it's also too, we have a great quarterback room. We got Nate Sudfeld in there, who's also he's got a nice little silly release. I like him a lot too. He's great for Trey too, because he's a people person. He helps Trey with the offense, and he did a great job helping him all year too. So Trey has taken, in my opinion, big steps forward. Like if you compare him to last year's OTAs, I think he's two different players, and that's just exciting to see. Now, if Trey Lance was the starting quarterback, and if I say if, because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, not your decision. Not your decision.
Yeah, thank God it's not my decision. It's all you, Kyle. You got this. I believe in you. But all reps, and if there's growing pains, there's growing pains. I think we have a good enough team around him, from Trent Williams to Nick Bosa to Fred Warner to George Ayuk to Brent to Deebo Samuel. We have enough guys around him to help him out through those growing pains. And so if it happens, it is what it is. And hey, you know what? If at the end of the day we have to run the ball 35 times, count me in, baby.
Yeah, you love that, huh? Just fucking mauling people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Was that last season where you threw a guy and then continued to run, or was that 2 seasons ago? I don't remember. It's kind of all getting tracked. You're an absolute savage, though. Huh?
It happens every season.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There will be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back for this hour 2. Feel Good Friday, June 10th.
Whoa.
Already.
My God.
2022. Let's start this thing now.
Yeah.
The Talks to Table's here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. And joining us from an attic in Ohio, a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, a COVID survivor, a private plane survivor. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
What? Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. That's not.
What's that?
That's not what I was saying.
Is that a different one?
Is that Bob Carpenter?
Where's AJ?
What?
What's going on?
Oh, he's not here today.
What?
Yeah, he's golfing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. He's doing the golf for the cult thing over there in Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for raising money for a good thing, AJ.
Yeah,
Thank you, AJ.
Hey, we miss you, AJ.
Miss you, pal.
How about rating AJ's face? This is what we're going to do, because I know this is one of his favorite things of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for time for like episode 9 or 10 at this point of a sports show that has captivated the entire globe. A segment that people go to and refer to as Sports Champion Greatness.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for T4 Tone's Tasty Tournament Time. Big one tonight, Tone. Let us
Here we
know what
are,
we need to
Pat.
know.
Game 4 tonight, not Game 5 tonight. The Celtics are home again in the scummiest place on earth, TD Garden, or whatever the fuck it's called. They are 4-point favorites against the Golden State Warriors. Over-under is 214. And guess what? Celtics are minus 230 to win the series now after taking a 2-1 lead over the Warriors. Tatum's the favorite to win the NBA Finals MVP, followed by Steph and Jaylen Brown. It is a 3-horse race at this point, and the game's tonight.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you, Tone.
Hey.
And a great edition, episode. Thank you, ZD. Another great episode of Flight just got moved a little bit earlier. I have to get Have to get my mind right.
Yeah, go.
Flying into some storms, I guess.
It's always fun.
Probably going to look like AJ Hawk coming down on that plane a little bit. But tell him, what should we be looking for tonight? Is there any trends we should look into? Like, for instance, Klay Thompson over 19 points. That feels like 19 and a half. That feels good to me. I'm not 100% sure.
While Clay did make the mention of the fans or whatever, it didn't see he had his best game of the series so far. He had 25. 19 and a half seems light for his over-under. There are some trends, though, that are concerning for the Warriors. They are 1-6 in their last 7 road games. 1-7 in their last 8 road games versus a team with a winning record. Obviously, Celtics have a winning record. It's the playoffs.
Fuck yeah.
They're 1-5 in their last 6 NBA Finals games. ATS. Now, I mean, it goes back a few years, or whatever. But the Warriors have not been playing well on the road, so it's a bit of a worry for the Warriors tonight.
Minus 230 to win the series for the Celtics
Yeah.
seems to echo the sentiments of what it feels like on the internet and most talk shows. A lot of people think the Golden State Warriors are dead right now. Why is that? Just because of one game where they're talking about the fans being bad, or has it been outright dominant by your Boston Celtics? Take off your I'm from Boston, I'm a masshole goggles real quick. Have you guys dominated this whole thing?
I think there's just like some times where we go on this run where we're just bigger and faster and we have a better defense. Like that's like the reality of it. I think the biggest thing is that Tatum isn't scoring 35, 40 points a game and keeping us in it. It's kind of the other guys like Jaylen Brown, Tony mentioned, who I think should probably be above Tatum as far as the Finals MVP because he's kind of
he's a dog.
He's a dog. He's been huge in the fourth quarter. The first game we won was because he started off the third quarter with like two threes, couple jump shots, all absolute buckets. But I think it just comes down to the defense, and defense is kind of the make or break when you get, I feel like, to these last rounds, or to the last round rather, where both teams are pretty evenly matched on offense. Who's going to be the defense that kind of comes through? And so far, it's been the Celtics by far.
So I say this begrudgingly.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I like this. That's good. You're not loquacious at all.
Because it's been out.
You're not loquacious.
Right. It's been out there for years. And saying about this will probably make me take the Celtics tonight in this certain quarter. But the Warriors in the last 7 years since their run, their third quarter has been unbelievable in this series. 38-24 in the third, game 1, 35-14 in game 2, 33-25 in game 3, and the Celtics had a good 3 or 4 minutes to end that third quarter. So if you want to look at Warriors tonight, if in a fashion, third quarter may be the way to do it. But because I just said that, the Celtics will probably win the third quarter.
Just like somebody tweeted us yesterday, hey, here's a good bet. You go on the FanDuel and you find shots on net bet, and they're like minus 600, minus 527. You put 6 of them together, basically all the longest odds, you'll get plus 128, and it doesn't matter who wins the hockey game. You just need the boys to shoot the puck.
That's right.
Last night, I think it was tweeted to us yesterday. I said, this is genius. Absolutely. This is the way we beat the book. Last night was the lowest shots in the history of the NHL playoffs. Is that what happened last night?
I don't know about the history books, but it was a tight game, tightly contested.
Cagey.
Two very good goaltenders, as we saw. It was 1-1 for a majority of the game there, and then Tampa got a few late ones and sealed the deal, and then they beat the shit out of the Rangers afterwards.
Yeah, but there was no shots.
No. It was 9-9 in shots with 12 minutes left in the second period.
I turned on the game, and they have the little shot stat thing, and it said 20-something. I'm like, oh, it must have been the second period. No, we're in the third period. What the fuck happened? What happened? The first day we do it. So thank you for mentioning that, since you mentioned it, and now that it's been brought into our lives and it seems like a cheat code, probably going to go the other way tonight. That's just – now, listen – I've been fading myself the last couple nights.
Sure.
No.
Not good.
Yeah.
Because I've been right and then I've been wrong.
Exactly.
But if you fade yourself in your mind, but you place the bet on the book, does the gambling gods even know that?
You played yourself.
Yeah, you did. I played myself trying to play the game.
Yeah. No, gambling gods know everything. And to Tony's point, this isn't just recently. I think all time, Steve Kerr in the postseason, they're plus 2,400 in the third quarter differential.
They are dogs tonight in the third quarter.
Who?
Plus Warriors plus 108.
Yeah,
Celtics are minus 130.
See, they're asking for us. What is that all about? Call John Sheeran, please. Can you call John Sheeran?
They were also dogs in game 3 in the third quarter.
Yeah, and They didn't really change the odds at all for the Celtics after the loss because of the fact that they're undefeated after a loss. That's why they're still -4, even though they got blown out in game 2.
John Sheeran, the head odds maker for FanDuel Sportsbook, we are cold calling right now to see if he will answer. He's probably working. Let's assume he is. There's no way he answers this, but if he does, I want to ask him. They know this trend that we're talking about right now. Why would they have it be dogs? Just because they're assuming it's going to end at some point, and he knows that Yanks love trends and records and stuff like that.
Happened last night. The Angels won finally.
Yeah.
Because Nickelback. And then Jet Passon put that video on the internet where he was doing the frog, I think.
Yeah. Fuck Elmo.
It wasn't Kermit. It was
Kermit.
Elmo. His Elmo impression is great.
It is.
Yeah. And then he sang a Nickelback song that he remixed for the Angels to win a game and get some good hits. And I'll tell you what, Nickelback should be pumped about what they did to the Los Angeles Angels. Now, I did see a tweet from Nickelback that did get deleted, I believe, where they were not exactly sure that this was ball and bat. They thought it was stick and puck because they're a Canadian band that makes bangers. But good for the fucking Angels and the trend ending. And that's probably good news for the book. Yeah, because people were probably betting against the Angels. Here we go, boom, 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 and then bang, that hits.
Yeah, maybe last night though, because Shohei was
on the bump.
On the bump.
They're favored.
He had a great outing pitching, and then he hit a home run.
So
as well.
he is pitching as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This season.
Mm-hmm.
How's he doing?
Pretty good.
Same
Same as last year.
Yeah, he'll get bombed every once in a while, but he throws very hard, and his breaking stuff is very good.
And they're allowing him, once he gets pulled from pitching, to hit later in the game, right? As a DH, or is he hitting for the other pitcher?
He's hitting as DH.
So the other pitcher has to hit too.
No, there's no more pitchers.
That's
hitting.
what DH is, right? DH was initially an all-time usually for the pitcher, right?
Yeah, in the American League, right. But now they've gotten rid of pitchers hitting completely, so there's a DH just everywhere. So he can get pulled as the pitcher, and then whoever's DH and either goes into the field or something, and he goes and DHs.
DH gets paid more longer?
Nah, not necessarily.
How come you kept saying he needs to stop pitching then?
Just because, I mean, with how much, if he is going to play every day, and that they were also putting him in the outfield some days when he wasn't pitching, like you're just wearing him down. Like you just can't do that for a whole season.
He's a human,
sustain it. Yeah, exactly.
But maybe he's not.
Yeah.
Well, he is, though, because when he was doing that kind of stuff, then he's not quite as good pitching, and he's not quite as good hitting, so it's kind of like you're just kind of like zapping what he does very well.
This is what they said to me whenever I thought I could kick and punt in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably really good at both of them, but in the NFL, there's 32 great people at each one. It's like, whoa. I see people miss kicks all the time. I see shank taunts all the time. Like, yeah, but if you're doing both of them, there's only going to be, one shank before they're like, all right, go and focus on the other one. And also your leg wouldn't be able to handle it. My leg couldn't. I think the first couple years when I was in the NFL, my leg could have handled it, all the work, but we had involuntary kicking. So... I mean, there ain't no reason that ever is going to happen. But at that point, I wasn't good enough at kicking. But when I got to the point where I think I was an NFL kicker and an NFL punter, it was probably only about a year and a half worth of time. And Adam Vinatieri didn't miss that entire year and wouldn't have missed. And he would go on to play another 5 years. But I was just kicking in practice and working on the craft. I got to the point where I was like, okay. So I could have done both of these if I wanted to, it felt like, which was good enough for me. And then my knees were like, hey, we are no longer doing both of these every day in practice. And it was like, well, everything everybody said earlier was right. This is what Debo's saying. Debo Samuel's saying this, like, hey, I am looking out for the back end of my career here on this running back hits thing, which I respect immensely, him doing that, the forethought on that. I still contest that, and people have come after me and said that I blindly say this or whatever, but if the Niners were to come to him and pay him a top-end wide receiver money, which is 20-some million a year, 23, 24 million a year, and then sprinkle like 3 million more on top of that for the running back duties, 27 million a year, I think you would see Debo playing running back and wide receiver and being a full gadget guy for them if they paid accordingly. I would assume the conversations had gone that they weren't going to pay him as both, never paid him as both, and then there was even more of an eye-opening experience of, well, I'm not going to take the beating of this position if you're not going to pay me for that position. And this position makes a lot more money, and that's just smart business by Debo. And I hope they work that out, by the way. John Lynch said they're going to work that out.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get paid, and they should have, gettable incentives. So even if it is 23, 24, it can go up to 28, 29. But this is kind of like with the kicking with, Matt Ariza. Isn't him going to Buffalo where they already have Bass, perfect? Because it's like, hey, we already got a guy who's unbelievable at kicking field goals.
No, he was just going to be a punter anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if he was NFL field goal kicker. year.
So
yeah, no offense to Riser. There's a lot of people. I wasn't. Whenever I came out of college, I wasn't. Maybe he's athletic enough, I think, to work on it and figure it out. And maybe, by the way, Bass could get hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have a guy that can do both. It is definitely an added value, though.
Yeah.
But I would assume they are going to have him bombing balls. I seen a punt from minicamp or OTAs that he hit that was a fucking bomb. I mean, it turned over nice and slow, too. Those are the ones that give you the most hang time when they turn over slow. You hit spiral too tight, that son of a bitch goes up and down too quick. You get a little loose or one that turns sideways, and you got the returner's head like this, that's all you're looking for. There's some returners, and I don't think any of the ones that are worth a fuck. But there's some returners that you actually can watch film on. As soon as their head goes like this, they are going to wave a fair catch. So you're trying to hit the ball high. Now, granted, you're trying to get as high and as far as possible, knowing that a fair catch is coming, so you can gain as much yards. But you can game some returners, and I think that is where, hopefully Ariza is athletic enough, and I think he's competitive enough to watch film get in there. I think he's going to be a guy. Buffalo is fucking terrible to punt it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That is fucking terrible place. But he's athletic.
Anything?
He's strong. He's athletic. He'll be able to figure it out.
Also, do you think for a guy like him, it's like when he does have to punt, it's kind of like the situation where it's always been with the Packers. It's like, hey, you're not going to have to punt a lot, but when you do, we need a fucking good one.
Matters.
And I feel like that's what it's going to be like in Buffalo.
Hey, the weather's going to stink.
Yeah.
And we are going to need you. And by the way, you don't hit a good one, everybody's going to say, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it's the position. It calls for it. But if you hit a good one, you pin them, you hope that an athletic, incredibly confident and intelligent corner just picks off the fucking quarterback and takes that thing pick six, because then your value goes up, field position goes up. There was a guy that I was very lucky and thankful that was on the defense, who's the host of the Man to Man podcast and currently on in the middle of Up to Something season.
Whoa.
Little luggage. This motherfucker going on the road. We don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, 9-year NFL vet, host of the Man to Man pod, Darius Butler.
Hey, fellas.
What's up, man? You going on the road? You touring? Is that what the luggage meant? Like, hey, I'm taking this show on the road.
Up to Something season. Hey, can you hear me good? I got a new little audio setup. You good over there?
Yeah, can you hear us? You sound really good.
Oh, yeah. We good. Loud and clear.
Oh, you're
all that punt talk, man. I never let you forget about this. Pre-game, St. Louis Rams. I forget the year, but they whooped our ass at home. You broke my finger pre-game with a punt. Appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. By the way, I don't think I knew that. I was hitting the ball big that day. Tavon Austin took a 98-yard touchdown on me that day.
Ooh. Yeah, he took one on us too. A couple of them. That was his greatest game, probably easily in the NFL. That was a bad one.
I gave away a car at halftime. I don't know if you remember that. I gave away a car to a veteran family. The vet was coming home early from deployment, and the family didn't know. Drove out. Had to be a Toyota truck that I bought. Had to be a Toyota truck that I bought. And we were already down 30, I think, at halftime. I think we were already down 30. It sounded a lot better leading into the week. Family was there. Blue drove the Toyota out, I think, opened the door. Dad popped up. There was a full moment there. People were like, oh, that was awesome. Nice. And then they drove.
See, you made the good day good for somebody. But I was probably in there getting extra shots of Toradol, so I missed it. But shout out to the vets.
By the way, that's the position punter and kicker you can do. I gave away a truck at halftime. These guys were down 38. These guys are trying to figure it out. D-Bud, how you doing, man? What are you up to? What are you cooking? Is this for the football season? Is this for the pod? And you are very proud of this new audio setup. It sounds like you mentioned it immediately upon getting on air here.
I'm just a pro. Want to make sure we're good, loud and clear. Everything's 10 out of 10. But up to some things. Putting together some things for this NFL season. I'm excited, just like everyone else is, about this upcoming season, but something I can talk about. I will be co-hosting Good Morning Football Monday and Tuesday next week. Make sure you get up a little early, and I know you're an early riser anyway, but check us out.
Well, I mean, I will definitely. Yeah, they rerun it immediately afterwards.
Oh, yeah. They do.
They rerun it immediately afterwards. So I'm not going to catch it live. I will. That's a great way to start the week. Is it Monday, Tuesday, you said?
Monday, Tuesday, 13th and the 14th.
Let's go.
That's great to start the week.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Are you the new K?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Are you the new K?
Oh, no. I'm D-Butt, man. That's all I can be. Nobody can replace K. Nate, obviously, the people that's been rotating in, I'm sure they'll get some new people to be a great crew. But those are obviously legends. But, anywhere I show up, I'm going to show up myself, man.
Are you doing it from there or in studio?
I'll be from here. From here for now, and then maybe in
that's
studio
why
a
you
little
got
later.
the new audio. That's why you got the new audio, yeah?
Yep.
And the IFB there, whatever the fuck this thing is called?
Yeah.
Well, and Trey told us they're not in studio until September.
Oh, yeah. They're not. Are you going to talk about that on the air? Are you going to say, hey, feels like we're probably taking a little bit too much time from our rooms here. Maybe get back into the studio, or are you going to say that, or are you just going to
I'll bring it up. Hey, you got to bring it up. Let's talk about it.
What are you going to wear, D-Bud? Have you figured that out? Are you going to go full, hey, because they're all wearing like hoodies and stuff, it feels like.
Hip.
Is that what
Yeah,
you're
they're pretty relaxed. So like I said, I'm sure of myself. I'm going to be home, so, I'll be relaxed soon. It's 3 hours, just like you guys, so it's a grind, but it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but D-Bud, you remember when he walked in here in that fucking suit?
Oh,
so clean.
God. Oh, yeah.
Fresh.
So clean.
Hey, that was fucking
spectacular.
Yeah, it was. Hey, Draft Spectacular was a hell of a night. How?
Yeah, it was.
All right, let's dive into some NFL stuff. Tyreek Hill said on his It Needed to Be Said podcast, he said, I just want people to understand that I went for 150 with Matt Moore. I love Matt Moore. Okay, I love Matt Moore. I want Matt Moore to know this. I love Matt Moore. He said, Tua is 10 Matt Moores. That is great news for all Dolphins fans out there, and I think that type of thing being said after OTAs and getting to experience Tua has to be massive for Tua as well. Like, hey, it seems like somebody finally has confidence in me and is talking good about me. Matt Moore had to take quite a fucking shot to get there. No offense, Matt Moore. But I think this is good news about Tua because we've not heard any of that type of conversation about him since he got to the league, basically.
Yeah, they've been crushing the kid, and he's had a bad deal. Obviously, terrible protection, not great play calling, haven't been great, I guess, talent around him. But you brought everybody in. There's no more excuses now. You brought Tyreek Hill in. Obviously, you brought in Waddle, Cedric Wilson. You got speed in the backfield. Gesicki's still there. And we got this, offensive mastermind, calling the shots now. We'll actually see. He'll be calling games. He'll be the head coach. So I'm excited about that, obviously, as a Dolphin fan. And Tua talking a little shit. I like to see that, from the quarterback, just because you got to put it all out there. You got to drop your nuts this year and just be that guy. That's the league that we're in. We're not patient anymore. You got to get out there and make plays, and I think he will.
I think that offense is going to be electrifying, D-Bud.
Yeah,
I mean, you've been like a fake Dolphins fan for a while. Yeah. I think next year it's going to be a lot of fun to be the fake Dolphins fan. I honestly believe that. Waddle just came into my being here last season. That dance he did, I was like, oh, my God, I love this guy. Now, obviously, he was a weapon at Alabama and everything, but Miami wasn't getting all the primetime games, and Waddle wasn't getting the rock all the time whenever they were in the primetime games. It was Parker. No.
Devontae Smith. For Miami?
Yeah, who ended up going to New England?
Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker was getting the ball and getting the shine or whatever, and then was like, Waddle, this guy, he's a guy, huh? Waddle's a fucking guy. Everybody's talking about Tyreek Hill. Waddle's a dude, too, I think, right, D-Bud?
He is electric. He's fast as hell. He's a smaller guy, but he's built. He can be a returner. You can get the ball in his hands, speed, sweeps. He can run the routes down the field. So that combination of him and Tyreek with that type of speed, and Cedric Wilson, he was kind of like a third, fourth, even fifth option sometimes with Dallas. So I think he'll be a weapon as well. Gesicki's an athletic, one of those big tight end, looks like a basketball player out there. So, I mean, Tua, like I said, he'll have all the weapons at his disposal. There'll be no excuses for him. And he's talented. He went top 5 for a reason. Obviously, they threw him in the starting lineup at Bama for a reason. So I'm excited about him this year. I'm excited about his growth. And Tyreek Hill is doing what he's supposed to do for his guy, his new quarterback. You see Devante Adams doing the same thing out there in Vegas, telling us, hey, Derek Carr is just as talented as Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
what?
We all got cable.
He said that?
We
Wait.
Your audio, I don't know if your audio is as good as we said it was at the early. Did he say what you just said right there?
Oh, yeah. He said, talent-wise, Derek Carr is pretty much on par with Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, what's he supposed to say?
Exactly.
I read that, and I was like, well, what's he supposed to say? Obviously, he doesn't think fucking Derek Carr's
He said he was
Rodgers.
keeping it real. He said he was keeping it real.
I bet he
keeping
was.
a band, he said. 100.
This is not
fucking
real.
Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, same guy. That's what he said? I didn't hear this. How did I not hear this?
Why would he lie?
Let's go, Derek Carr. Congrats, dude.
When did this happen?
Huh?
Was this real.
2 minutes ago?
Well, which press conference did this come from? And which player were they speaking of? They were speaking of Aaron Rodgers, the back-to-back MVP. Which time did Devante speak and we did not hear this? This is something that I am absolutely baffled. I'm bewitched by this. I am befuddled by. As far as talent and ability, it's really similar. If I'm keeping it real. Holy shit!
Come on.
Holy.
I get it.
Fuck.
Got capable. And, you know, let's not.
That's
Derek
awesome.
Carr is obviously talented. Like Ty said, what's he supposed to say? It's his new quarterback. You know, Ty Hill, he left Patrick Mahomes, went to Tua. Devante left A-Rod, went to Carr. You got to pump your guy up. You got to show the media and everyone else you got confidence in. And Derek Carr, he did have a couple years, you know, or a year at least, when he was in that MVP race.
Yeah, he ain't fucking Rodgers, but yeah.
Cole snapped his ankle.
Well, hey, we were there for that.
He's super talented, and he has all the weapons around him this year to succeed. Adams, Renfro, they just paid. They got to pay Waller. So, yeah.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh McDaniels.
Hey, they've spent $400 or $500 million on 5 players this offseason. Renfro just got 2 years, $10.5 million per in guaranteed. That sounds like a terrible deal for Renfro, but I like the fact that he got some more money. $32 million, $21 in guarantees. Chandler Jones, $51, $98 million for Crosby, $140 for Devante. Derek Carr, $121.5. And obviously, all this money that's guaranteed has to go into escrow from the ownership. I had no idea Mark Davis had it like this. Did you know this?
I did not know this. I've been taking notes. You know, you've had Brand on here, you have Rap Sheet trying to explain the salary cap. I get more confused every time I hear God talk about it. So I'm just gonna give it up.
I think Andrew,
it's fake, you know?
It is fake, which is what Andrew Brandt basically says. It's not fake, but there's a loophole. So it's real for the cheap owners. It's not real for the rich owners. So then in the entirety, then it's bullshit. Because if one's wrong, they're all wrong. If they're all wrong, they're all right. So, I mean, right? I mean, that is...
Yeah.
You knew you were stirring shit, though. I think if we look back, Darius talking about Derek Carr saying Aaron Rodgers is just as good as Derek Carr, his pause and face look at the camera was just a toss of a grenade into the room just to see our reaction. I respect that out of you because
I thought you guys heard this. Let me be honest.
I did hear it.
This might have came out yesterday, maybe last night. Really? He talked about, you know, he confirmed that Green Bay offered more money. You know, he talked about even potentially, you know, taking a practice golf round with A-Rod.
I heard that. I heard that.
The match, but he had practice. You know, he was keeping it real.
I heard that. He talked about Aaron probably retiring after a year or two. He didn't want to sacrifice that because he wants to be a Hall of Famer and blah. Not Hall of Famer, but I want to be remembered in this league and history and everything. I did not hear him say DC and AR-12. Basically, same dudes. Fucking let's go, Derek. Congrats.
Good for Derek.
That has to be one of the best compliments of all time. Like Tyreek Hill saying Matt Moore is 1/10 of Tua. That's a massive compliment.
Yeah. Whoa. Before we get too excited, let's remember AB was talking up Derek Carr, too. Remember, they were buddies. They were boys. AB went to his house. Then they played catch once or twice, and then AB started putting balls and said,
no, that was his helmet's
fault.
That was his helmet.
No, I think
and he accidentally stepped on a bunch of ice with his foot.
No, it wasn't ice. It was the other way, actually. I think it was burns.
Cryogenic.
Yeah, it was heat.
Ice burns.
Maybe, yeah. I guess it was too cold or whatever. But I think what Nick was saying is it wasn't until he played catch with Derek Carr where he's like, I got to get out of here. So his helmet was bad. And then he tried to burn both of his feet off. And then he was celebrating in the backyard, get me out of here. Yeah. Now, there's other situations that happened with Antonio Brown and lead you to maybe believe that isn't 100% how it went, but that was our understanding at the time, I believe, is what you were trying to say, Nick.
Well, I was saying that you can't put Devante and AB, what they say, you can't hold them to the same standard.
All right. It's fair.
Hey, did you see those? Hey, AB's been concerts. Hey, concerts have been taking place. Have you been to any of these yet? Have you been to a concert yet? And have you talked to AB?
I haven't made it to a concert. Haven't had a conversation with AB, but he looks happy. He looks like he's he's doing his thing. I saw him doing an interview. They asked him would he play next year. He said no. He looks like he's enjoying the music. Saw him in Dubai with Floyd. He walked out with Floyd Mayweather. Saw him in Pittsburgh, I think, a couple of days ago performing. So as long as he's happy, staying out of trouble. Hey, live your life, be happy, man.
Hell yeah, good luck out there, AB.
Go get it.
AB. AB. That's what the whole crowd was chanting.
Yeah.
The whole crowd was chanting AB.
Same number of people in this room in the crowd as well.
Oh,
pretty cool similarities.
He's happy.
No, I'm just saying.
There's no need for that. Extra.
He did a stage dive, and actually,
Don't crowd
as soon as
shame.
he got into the crowd, everyone was like, "Get him back on stage." There are not enough people out here
All
to carry
right,
this guy.
you-
I'm just saying that's what they did.
Plus, it's
That's
all
what
about
they did.
Unbelievable.
I didn't do it. I'm just telling you what the
crowd
people in the
shamer.
video were saying.
Son of a bitch.
Don't play yourself.
Thinking I'm gonna play next year. Go ahead, Ty. Your question for Darius.
D-Bud, when you have like when you're at camp and a team has a bunch of rookie wide receivers, like how quickly can you tell whether or not one of those guys is going to be good or make an impact, or like do they actually come along quite a bit like throughout camp and stuff like that? Like the Packers have like 4 rookie wide receivers. Should we believe anything about what we see from these guys? Like how quickly would you know if a guy was worth a shit or not?
I mean, the guys that are different, I'm sure, like Jamar Chase or Jefferson or something, you can probably tell instantly. But some guys, honestly, they look like completely different guys from the beginning of camp till, kicking off the first game. Some guys will be practice all-stars, and then when those real lights come on, they kind of get small and vice versa. So you never really know until you get to the real season. So you take all those things kind of with a grain of salt. But you can tell, you can see how guys compete. How quickly they adjust, and you're doing one-on-ones with them. Can you get them the same way, day after day after day, or do they adjust and switch up things and learn? Because that's what it's all about in the league is learning, getting better, every day. Nobody's a finished product. The best guys in the world, they still come to work and try to get better at something every day. So the young guys, things are going so fast. You're trying to get the huddle call, the alerts, the audibles, seeing the defense. It's just so many things on their plate that they're not playing as fast as they will be, once that real season, once that real game comes and they're really prepared. So, you see the talent, obviously that stands out from day one, but then it's all about the mental game, how quickly they can adjust. Are they showing up? Are they ready? Are they fresh? Are they alive? First play of practice. And some guy you can tell, like, this guy's, he's probably been up all night. He's probably been doing this, wasn't in the training room. It's things like that, but it's a lot that goes on in those camps.
Hey, when you line up for your first one-on-one as an NFL guy across from a dude, is that there's obvious nobody's going to say this because you have to be the most confident humans of all time at all time, but that's a real gut check time for a lot of DBs to find out whether or not they're going to make it, right? Like this, I'm going to find out right now internally whether or not I'm going to fucking be in the NFL. I feel like that is something that happens in these one-on-ones at these mandatory mini camps. Some people in their mind are like, okay, I can make it in this league, or, this is going to be tough if this is how this is going to go.
It's different. And like I know when we came out, at least, you had the rookie mini camps first. So, you're going up against, the same guys who everybody's experiencing it at the same time. I had Brandon Tate, I had Julian Edelman. So I'm going against these guys. You just have that same level of confidence that you had in college. But then, every play you make or don't make, it's, coaches chirping, hey, that shit's going to be different when Brady gets here. Hey, Moss, he's going to throw his hand up with that. Wes is going to – and then, you're all right. And then when those guys really show up, you really see the difference. It's just a different level. But you're always ready. But when you first line up that first time, you line up across, 81, it's Randy Moss, really like in front of you. And it's 12 doing the cadence. Brady back there doing the cadence. Like kind of like –
It's a video game.
Like, let's go. Let's go. But you've been thinking about it. You've been dreaming about it your whole life. So – you got to barbecue a mildew, man.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, D-Butts, I've actually just been waiting to ask you this for quite some time. When the Nets played the Celtics and they went up 2-0, you had the Nets winning in 7. And then when the Celtics played the Bucks, you had the Bucks in 7 or 6. And I can respect you being a Heat fan, but you also had the Heat beating the Celtics in 7. And now that the Celtics are up 2-1, you still have the Warriors beating the Celtics in 7 games. So my question for you is, what's your deal? Why do you hate Boston? What did they say to you? Was the crowd too mean to you at some point? Why don't you want the Celtics to succeed? D-Butt.
First of all, I love Boston.
Sure.
I love the time there. Love their hospitality. I actually got to experience Kobe coming in the Garden and watching them play that series in 2010. But I'm a Heat fan. I'm a lifetime Heat fan. So that's one of our rivals, obviously. And you don't want to see your rivals win. And but I gotta appreciate the city. I appreciate their fan base. I appreciate them, showing how soft the Golden State Warriors fan base is now. But I am a Warriors fan. I am a Steph Curry fan as well. So that's why. It's nothing against Boston Celtics. It's Steph Curry. My Curry fandom. I want to see him win. I want to see him get a Finals MVP. But I will be happy for the Celtics if they win as well.
Hell yeah.
No beef. No hate.
So you got Golden State in 7?
Golden State 7. I had him in 6.
He just want us to win.
I love it.
Us against the world.
I absolutely. Well, I'm like that against the Rangers, and They've been kind of doing their thing. It has come out that never would have guessed, Anastasio was the man that had the left looping hook, not Chris.
An Italian from New York?
Never would have guessed.
What?
By the way, Anastasio, we had an Anastasio in Plum.
Cousin-in-law.
I believe if you do some research on the Anastasio family, you're going to find some awesome, legendary shit in the past. And I think I've done that before with our Anastasio from the thing.
Oh, Jimmy Baggett down at San Anastasio.
Hey, the Anastasio family is not, like strangers to body bags, I believe.
Sure.
Really?
Back in the day. Not currently, obviously, but
Maybe.
back in the day. Up the family tree a little bit, I think there is some.
A couple ice boxes.
Many folks
Couple heavy hitters up there.
have pointed out and would like to be known that Mr. Anastasio is of Staten Island. And I believe they associate that as its own part of New York, essentially.
That's where Pete Davidson's from,
That's
right?
right.
That's right.
It's like Long Island, Staten Island, New York.
Staten Island's where they say all the trash is.
Sure.
Yeah, they do.
They say that's where the trash island is. Anyways, did you see that left? And this goes back to what we've been saying, D. But hey, well, some people just ain't about the shits. Some people will punch you right in the mouth. And if you're,
that was a hell of a shot. But I can't respect the
cheap shot. Yeah,
it
cheap
was
shot.
A sucker punch, all the way. I can't respect, that part of it. Was a hell of a shot. The dude was laid out. I think I heard that he did, come to about 5 minutes later.
Nice job.
That was tough, man. That was rough.
You said you respected the Boston fans, and I do too. And I think you know exactly what you're getting when you go there.
Yeah.
That's why it was so, I think, I don't want to say alarming, but it was hard not to say, oh, these Golden State dudes are the softest dudes of all time. Like, you don't know that that's coming when you go into Boston. Boston fans are like that in every sport up there. That's how it is. And I think a lot of athletes, and you are a much better athlete than I, but I grew up in the athletic world. I like that shit. Like, I like shit. I'm from Pittsburgh. Like, there's a lot of shit talk there. Some places are vastly different, though. I don't think they'll ever understand what it's like in Boston or having that type of attachment to sports. And I think that's a shame. Honestly, I think that's a shame for the sports fan community that doesn't grow up around it.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I appreciate that shit. That's what fans are supposed to do. Obviously, there's a line that you don't cross.
Yes.
Throwing shit at people or throwing shit on the court, but yelling and cursing or chanting like that—that's all part of it. When you walk into a hostile environment, whether you're going to play, the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Ravens or Seahawks or one of those, like that's you get up a little more for that. It's kind of weird when you have like nice. I've been around some nice fans too. I would say the Packers. Very nice fan base.
Wisconsin,
it's weird
nice.
because they have that championship pedigree, but they go a little differently about it. So everybody's different. With Boston, it's a passionate fan base. The Bruins win, the Red Sox win, the Celtics win. So you gotta get that, man. I had to take off my Dub shirt. I mean, what the fuck did you expect?
No shit. Yeah. Walking around the city, walking around the city, people were telling me to go fuck myself. It's like, dude, there's an 18th banner on the line. Right?
On game day, walking around with
that's
that
how
on.
they feel. Like, that's how they, not, hey, by the way, maybe the way they word things should be differently in your eyes.
Sure.
But that's just the culture. I'm sorry about it. I feel like it's how Boston people are feeling.
Yeah, that was Wednesday, and today's Friday. So, I mean, they don't have much to do tomorrow. It's going to be much worse.
Go ahead, Tone.
D-But, when you're getting plowed in an airport, what is your drink of choice?
I'm usually not an airport drinker because I usually show up.
Twitter says differently.
On my vitamins. But this you had a 5-hour delay. So drink of choice yesterday was I almost went to Long Island, but I figured I would be there too long.
Yeah.
So I went with the old fashioned.
Okay.
Go to old fashioned. It had a nice bar, so they had Woodford. So that was a go-to there.
You a booze bag? Or are you getting into sophisticated drinking now? What are you doing?
Nah, no booze. Nah, not a booze bag. As the older I get, the drinking doesn't really. Don't really sit well with me. I'd rather do the other things. I'm fine. I can operate that drinking stuff, man. The next day, if I can do something the next day, I still feel it. Kind of like when I left your party in Indy, like I had a good probably 52 hours where I wasn't quite right. And I'm good on that. I'm 36 now, man.
Did you put the shock lock on it? Like, all right, what is the time I am feeling better? When did this whole thing start? Yeah, you're right. I feel the same way. There's some people, though, that are just Their livers are absolute champions. There's people that go way into their 50s, 60s, just every night having a drink. I mean, Foxy's dad drinks every single day.
Yeah.
Ty Schmidt has at least one whiskey every single day, I believe, right?
Hey, as often as I can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
he's here the next morning, ready to go, and I can't do that. Like, my body at this stage cannot do that. I think we're soft, D-Bud.
You got these patches now too, though, that you can throw
Those
these
things
like
don't do
vitamin patches. They're 2 for 2 for me. You wear these patches.
How about your generation getting a chance to do this virtual reality and having hangover patches? Our motherfucking our generation has been looking for that. Yeah, me too. D.
I got a
But-
patch where you just start drinking again, dude. Okay.
See, there's another guy. He will have a whiskey on a regular basis as well. He's a day drinker, this guy, dude, but loves drinking while the sun's out.
Powered by the sun.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Pass me a pre-roll. I'm good.
Me too.
What?
They're the best, aren't they? I mean, it's the absolute best. It's a great generation now, too.
Yeah.
Part of that. When's that going to open up to more states, you think, D-Butt?
I feel like it's been opening up. You know, we got it medical down here in Florida, Jersey. It's legal there. I think it'll continue to open up. You know, as soon as the government figures out how to get every red cent that they can, it'll be in more places. You know, but it's always, you know, the politicians. They got to do their thing, their song and dance. But they'll figure it out. Just like sports betting. You know, it'll continue to open up state by state. Yeah. You know, 10 years from now, they'll be able to 50 states. Should be sports betting everywhere, and you know.
They said 49.
Yes.
49 cents because Utah, I guess, has it in their constitution to not allow gambling or something.
no gambling.
State constitution?
Yeah.
Wow.
You have 8 wives, but you can't get.
A lot of other shit out
No,
there.
listen.
Right.
The reason why they had 8 wives because those 7 wives' husbands died in the pilgrimage from Kentucky to Utah or Tennessee to Utah or something like that. That's where it started.
Is this a real history lesson right here?
This is what I was told.
I didn't know that.
This is what I was told from a Mormon that I got to work out next to when Mitt Romney was almost president. You remember that?
I do.
Okay, so I didn't know anything about the religion, and it was my first time having money and really caring about the government existence and everything like that. So it was close, and I wanted to know what this guy believed in. Like, all right, if this guy's going to be running this shit that's going to be controlling my life, I'd like to know what this guy believes in. So I ran right next to Austin Coley for an entire cardio session out on the Colts facility, and he basically gave me the entire breakdown that they do at the when they show up at your house and shit.
Okay.
And I learned, because I had a lot of questions. I'm like, well, you guys just marrying everybody too, right? Is Mick going to have 45 first ladies? Is it like first, second, third, fourth? How do you rank them? And he's like, well, actually, the polygamy came into it during the pilgrimage from Tennessee or Kentucky over to Utah because we were exiled from there because of our beliefs, and then men would die, other men would pick up people's families or something like that. All right, let's move on to the next one. So what happened to so that's their answer. I wasn't going to give a full pushback on that, you know, D, but it's not in that cardio, I was getting a little tired too at that point.
Sure.
I don't even know if I need joust for that, but that's their answer. Interesting shit, D, but the world, interesting place right now.
Very much so. I might go down a little rabbit hole and you know learn a little more about it.
Have you seen the Book of Mormon?
Yeah. I was just gonna say.
No, I have not. I've heard some things.
Yeah, take a peek.
You know, it was something that didn't quite sit right with me as a black person, so that kind of just turned me away. I won't get too much into details, but it was something about getting to heaven. You had to do some. Yeah. So once that. I mean, you know, to each his own. But,
I believe that's a pretty good history lesson, though. I can understand where you're coming from, though. I think looking back on it, I do believe it's pretty early in that whole thing, too. I mean, it is.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty early. Oh, that's awesome. D-But, who's winning the Super Bowl?
Ooh, you know, I got my bet locked in on the Chargers. I got them at plus 1,600, and I'm staying with it, man. They made, you know, all the right moves this offseason, I feel. Bring in Mac. Got J.C. Jackson in there if Derwin can stay healthy, Bosa. And they got pieces all around. Obviously, you know, Justin Herbert, he's my favorite young quarterback in the league, still on a rookie deal. Telesco did his thing this offseason. So, obviously, a tough division with everything that everybody else did in that division. But I like the Chargers, man. I like their chances.
All right, well, good luck to you. We hope it hits. Can't thank you enough. Good luck with Up to Something season.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Good luck on
Monday morning.
Yes. Good luck on
Tap in.
Good Morning Football. Let's get those ratings up.
Hell yeah.
Ratings go up. That's
and
good
the
for
Man
a
to
guy.
Man pod right after, actually.
Okay.
Oh, hey, you're
And
going
then, and then you go into the Pat Show. It's perfect.
Okay, will you come on our show on Monday?
Damn right.
Okay, so we'll see where you're at.
Yeah.
That'll be 5 hours in. I'll be excited
Big
to see.
marathon. I'll be good.
All right, get you a pre-roll or two. Good
Like
luck
you're
out
working
there.
at ESPN.
Oh no, I can't do that. I be stuck.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how y'all the sage. I don't know how y'all operate. Like I can't do that.
I don't think there's a lot of people that can, but I respect and appreciate the fact that you have tried to dabble with us, in those waters.
I try. Hey, you gotta stay in your lane. Run your race.
I'm talking, and I'm looking at Darius, and I'm like, am I throwing this to Darius right now? Darius is on another planet.
I'm probably thinking about something you said 18 minutes ago. That was a good ass point.
Let's bring Darius back down.
Yep.
Come on back down.
Back here.
Oh, we need you. We appreciate the hell out of you, ladies and gentlemen. Darius Butler. Let's get to a break. 5 Energy phone line on the other side. I cannot wait to hear the phone calls to wrap up this glorious week. I will have to head out a little bit earlier in the 2 o'clock hour. The boys in...
Any dice?
The rage has awoken.
Oh!
Should he come on?
With you guys?
Or with you?
I think he should come on with you guys. What are you talking about right now? You would have to come on in like 4 minutes.
Okay.
That wouldn't make any sense because then I would have to...
It's like wiping before you poop.
Listen, I was told...
He can be top of the
was-
hour. I'll be with him for like 10 minutes, and then that'll be a proper bow out for me. You guys take it home with Gabe. All right, so 2 o'clock, Gabe Morenci, Sports Rage is here. This is for us, I think.
Here we go, baby.
Always. There are some things that are for this office more so than thinking. I feel like we think about the audience and listeners a lot.
Oh,
We
yeah.
try our best. Whenever the salary cap thing's going on, Andrew Brandt makes a good point. Like, hey, let's get him in here and let's go ahead and talk about it. Then follow up, let's dunk on Ian Rappaport the next day with our new information, even
Yep.
though he's just going to continue to talk in circles because he and the Neuralink are told the same thing.
That's right.
We try our best every single time to add to people's lives, to add to the sports media world and everything like that. Gabe's going to do all those things, but this is for the office.
Hell yeah.
How are we supposed to know if the Bandits are going to win the championship this weekend or not?
Did they, by the way? Did he hit on the Buffalo Bandits?
This weekend.
Good luck to the Buffalo Bandits.
Yeah, need them.
Got a DM from the Bandits, I think.
Really?
It's like, can we use that video or whatever? It's like, I'm not going to respond. Yes. You guys can have Gabe Morenci cutting a promo for the Buffalo Bandits.
Go Bandits.
Go fucking Bandits.
Let's go.
Sport of the future. He knows it. What?
Well, Gabe, anytime he knows he's coming on, he tweets out he's pumped to come on, blah, blah, blah. He tagged you, obviously, and then he tagged AJ. So. He's
going to be heartbroken. All right, we'll see him about 13 minutes or so. Can't wait to chat with him. We'll answer some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line on the other side, wrapping up hour 2 on this Feel Good Friday, June 10th. See you then. What's up? We're like 20 minutes before the show starts here on this Feel Good Friday. Boom.
He probably would never see you again.
We're out of here to Grand Rapids, Michigan. What? Hello, Grand Rapids. Such a piece of shit. What? Out of Philadelphia is one of the biggest inspirations walking around the internet. Geo, the podcast. Okay, so you're 14 years old.
Yep.
You're from Philadelphia.
Yep.
Big time Eagles fan, podcaster. You were Carson Wentz's #1 fan.
Yeah. Yesterday, the 801 invited me, and Carson invited me to the game, and I got to go on the sideline and meet Carson again, and he gave me a football.
Let's go! Yeah! You're obviously full of energy, full of optimism, full of upbeat, good vibes.
Yeah.
What do you go through on a day-to-day?
I've had 20 surgeries in my life, so it hasn't been easy. I have a condition called SJS, short stem cell syndrome, and it's basically like muscular dystrophy with dwarfism. My elbows are dislocated, My left hip is dislocated. I had to get my right hip reconstructed. The reason I'm so optimistic is because life is too short to focus on the negativity.
Let's go! I'm sorry to hear that you have to be tougher than all of us on the day-to-day, but I am so incredibly thankful that you keep that mindset. How'd you develop a love for football?
We've always been a football family, but then when I started having surgeries, I started watching football, and then I just kind of fell in love.
What does the rest of the season look like for the Indianapolis Colts, you think? Carson's going to keep himself safe out there?
Carson's going to have his best NFL season here in Indy.
Why is that?
He loves it here, and he's having fun. And when Carson Wentz is having fun, he plays his best.
Okay, and how about the Philadelphia Eagles?
I think they got a little developing to do with Jalen.
Are there any players that you'd like to get on your podcast?
Brian Dawkins.
Oh. Is he your favorite Eagle of all time?
Him, Carson, and Zach Ertz are my top three.
Oh, Zach Ertz.
Damn,
Last week.
so
sorry.
Yeah.
Why is everybody getting traded out that you like? What's the deal?
I don't know.
You're really, really good at this. What's the name of the podcast?
Philly Sports with Giovanni.
One last message to somebody out there who maybe doesn't view life the right way, you think?
I'd just say find your happiness and find the thing that inspires you, like I found football, and just try to look on the optimistic side.
Hey, you absolutely crush it every single day. You crushed it in here. We appreciate you. We hope you loved Indianapolis, Indiana. Come back whenever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, Gio the podcaster. Welcome back to the show. We are live on this Feel Good Friday. Is everything all right?
No, yeah, I think so.
Burning sage.
Happy we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
crazy.
I know.
My God.
So much dust.
The Thunderdome is coming along very, 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 very.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Took a little peeksy at it. Said, all right, I'm proud of what's coming together there.
Here we go.
We're there soon, boys. Toxic Table's here. Hi!
Yes.
What's this?
It's the dust in here.
Yeah. I said it.
Why is it floating like smoke? It's
I don't
dust.
know.
Because it's in the wind.
That
Asbestos.
dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the. What a moment for us. That was cool. We've never done that song before.
No.
Hey, but
Kansas.
that's choreographed.
He's coming to the Indiana State
Yeah.
Fair.
Who?
Kansas.
Headlining.
Kansas?
Kansas.
See,
I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, I rushing till life's no fun. That's awesome. All I gotta
They should cover that.
yeah, because that is actually Alabama.
Fuck. The state names really get me.
Yeah, I get it.
More than one.
Not also
Alabama, Arkansas, I still love my mom and pa. I remixed that on the air last week on SmackDown.
Yes. That was awesome.
Yeah, Cole had no idea what I was talking about. I don't think the wrestling community did either. And I might have been in a really good state of mind whenever that one came out and forgot that people were actually listening. So
Yeah, that song's big.
Yeah, it is.
absolutely.
You assume Edward Sharp of the Magnetic Zeros play everywhere.
Let's go to the 5 Energy phone line. Remember, go to 5energy.com. Use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order. Let's
go.
Of all the delicious flavors of 5 Hour Energy, I cannot wait to take one right before we go live tonight on SmackDown, 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Hell yeah.
It's in Louisiana.
Oh.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Zeke gonna be there?
Huh?
Zeke gonna be there?
Who?
Zeke.
Ezekiel or Ezekiel Elliott?
Ezekiel. What do you mean?
You talking about Elias's younger brother?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, maybe. Who knows with that fucking guy?
Coach
Yeah.
O, maybe?
Let's go. Is Coach O going to be here?
Could be.
Go Tire. Go to the bar.
He'll be like, nope.
No, let's go to the phone.
Nope.
Let's go to Pablo in Tampa. What's going on, Pablo?
What's up? How you doing, Pat?
Hey, keep it moving, Pablo. Everything's good, pal.
Hey, excellent, man. So just wanted to say, if Tampa does manage to make their way into the Stanley, definitely think you should be taking up Big Rig on his invitation for you and the boys to get out here.
Okay, definitely will. You got it, Pablo. Thank you.
And then second of all, I had a question for Nikki Skates and for Tone Diggs.
Go ahead.
Right, so you watched the end of the game last night. You see Stammer getting into it. You watch Nicky Paul getting into it.
Hang up.
Those boys going into the locker room, they're smiling and whatnot. What do you think that New York locker room was looking like, and how do you think that's going to affect them going into this key Game 6?
All right, Nikki, I think he thought you were Gumpy,
He
potentially.
definitely confused me.
Co-host of That's Hockey Talk. That's Hammer Dahn, host, Tone Diggs. Nick, what were your thoughts there?
What was wrong, Tony?
I thought because he included me in it, I thought it was going to be a shot at the Penguins.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
yeah, he kind of left me. Actually, midway through, I was like, this fucking guy's about to bury the Penguins, and I'll mention me. I'm going to be very upset. But I think he just thought you were Gumpy.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to bury Tone. I got very excited for what was potentially going to come.
Yeah, but you were also in there, so he's probably going to bury
That's
you.
all right. I'll tell you. I mean, Connor just got slaughtered on air the other day.
Slaughtered.
Yeah.
But I don't honestly.
Was that Gary V?
8.5-year-olds?
Oh, no.
Kind of sounded like him. We could have been.
No. What were you going to say?
Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal because that happens at the end of a lot of playoff games. They used to call it message sending a message.
Hell yeah.
And it's usually the losing team that instigates that. Tampa kind of started that last night.
And they won it.
Kucherov shot that puck. They started it. He shot that puck at Adam Fox, and they finished it too.
Do you think that's what that guy that was walking amongst all those Rangers fans with the jersey on? We beat you on the ice, and then we beat you up afterwards. And that Paisan was walking in front of him. You shut your fucking mouth. What are you going to do about it? I'll big rig Pat Maroon your face. You won't do nothing. You guys fucking soft and lose games. Put your khakis on and go to church and pray for a fucking dub because the Tampa Bay wham! Because the Tampa Bay Lightning did set a tone right after that game ended. I mean, they were on top of everybody winning those fights. A lot of face washing and turning into actual punches. I mean, they got to love the team that they have right now. Tampa is all the way back.
Yeah, got to nuke them next game. At home. Close it out.
Fucking right there in the middle of the storm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pablo and the fans are going to be going banana land.
Back to back to back.
Gabriel Morenci's on the other side. We'll see you then. That was
Nailed
perfectly timed. Let's go to some more phone calls before I get the fuck out of here.
Oh.
What's this? I never like whenever I get a text. There's some weather where you're flying.
No, you don't.
Yeah, nor should you.
Might want to get out of here a little
Classic
bit early.
Louisiana.
Down in the bayou.
Mm-hmm. They get everything.
They do. Except snow.
Except for snow.
They don't get snow.
No.
Maybe one.
You know, I've been hog hunting down there in Louisiana.
Really?
Yeah.
Been frog hunting down there in Louisiana.
Shreveport?
Bullfrogs?
What's that?
Shreveport?
I think so, actually. Yeah. Did I tell you that?
Nope. Just a cool place.
I think that's where I was. Guy's name was Bubba.
I believe it's across the river from New
Arkansas.
Orleans.
Oh, no.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. This hogs are a real menace down there.
Yeah.
Feral hogs, they're a problem.
Yeah, they are. They're just boning and reproducing and fucking up all the tilling all the land.
Like Quill.
Speaking of problems, I saw a video of a coyote going after a house cat yesterday.
That's a problem. Coyotes are always an issue. I saw a motherfucker.
House cat won.
What?
Really?
Well, it backed itself into a corner where the coyote couldn't get to. But
Coyote had never seen something like a house cat before. This thing is eating fucking, bacon at night and in the morning. This thing is a different breed than just one of those whittled down outdoor cats that's trying to feast on something that's dying.
Yeah.
These things are well fed and very aggressive. Remember, I have 4 cats right now. One of them is 3-legged. And she's maybe the most savage of them all. Her name's Scootsy. She can go faster than anybody. She uses that thing like a little rudder almost.
Yeah.
She flies around. They circled a dog that came into our house that we were thinking about getting that got into it a little bit with one of our other dogs. These cats, they fucking circled this dog, and this dog had nothing.
Little lions.
I literally watched it. I was like, oh my, who do I,
you
what
also
do I?
didn't tell us that you were thinking about getting another dog.
This was years ago.
Oh.
This was a couple years ago. I remember Nipsey. Yeah, Nipsey was the name. Not after Hustle. It had a bunch of nips. It was a mom that was. We're thinking about maybe, and then didn't
Cat
vote
said
well.
no.
Tiger started circling.
I've never been around cats before in my life now. These things are fucking different, dude.
Yeah.
They're
smart.
Awesome. They're little lions, dude.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And they are so athletic. They'll fucking do whatever.
No shoulder blades.
And if they got a little bit, really?
Yeah, that's why they can like jump and land from such high grounds
Because they become parachutes.
their shoulders can just go straight up their back. They don't have to. They don't have to land, and they don't like dislocate. Obviously,
They're so athletic, though.
Yeah.
What these cats are able to do. I have a cat named Teddy Theodore. He's got thumbs on his hands, which I believe is a certain type of cat.
Sure.
Named after something very popular.
ambidextrous.
Should have known that.
Hemingway.
Hemingway.
Okay.
Thomas Hemingway.
Thomas. Ernest.
Ernest Hemingway.
He did have a brother Tom though.
Ernest
and he
writes
was a big
books.
cat guy.
That's where the
Yeah,
movie's
Tom
from.
Hemingway. Yeah, Ernest. Whatever the case. Ernest does Ernest does domestic cats. But like he's particularly overweight. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's able to just fucking leap right up onto things. You know, it's like I'm watching the most athletic offensive lineman of all time when Teddy's moving. It is fucking.
Do you still have a Tyler Mountain Water?
So fat, and he is not slowing down either. What you say?
Do you still have a Tyler Mountain Water 5-gallon jug that he
drinks out of? No. So now there's a fridge in our bathroom in our master bedroom, which is. I would recommend for everybody.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Yeah, it is a game changer. Never would have thought of it until we had to move into this house. There's a fridge in there. He knows there's water in there. So when I'm waking up, he is sitting staring at that fridge. As soon as I get in there, it is a constant yell. At me until I have to open it up. I have to fucking give him, before I piss or shit, I got to pour water onto the ground. And then I put it back in. He'll drink that thing dry. And then while I'm still doing my thing, there's another round of yells coming. If I don't, he's liable with his fat ass to jump up and smack me in the face with his fucking thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what cats are. You just got to treat them right. They'll do everything they got to do. They are savages, though. I like cats a lot. I'm a big fan of them. Take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're
very explosive.
They're easy.
Never liked them at all before coming out here.
They have like attitudes, personalities.
Yeah.
You just assume they're all like just killers. That's what I kind of thought. Like, oh, these things are menaces, killers. Not at all. They all have like great personalities.
Yeah, someone told me when I was super young that like if you die and you have a cat, the cat will eat you, but the dog will like cry until someone comes, and that's why I was like, okay, I hate cats forever.
Nova might eat me. She was found in a dumpster by Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Scootsy might as well if she's getting a little hungry.
Survive.
Teddy ain't eating me though. He's still gonna yell at me for water. Even
Yeah.
though I'm dead. Long gone.
I don't know. Daddy get pretty hungry.
Oh,
I'd
true.
imagine if he was left unattended for a while.
Yeah, fuck it.
He is the fattest cat of all time. And Chuck, maybe we're looking up, trying to find a record. He might be the largest corgi of all time.
Really?
Might be, yeah, because Sam was watching the Jubilee thing where all these fucking corgis were,
Yeah.
and they were all tiny. And there was those babies. No, those were adults. Those are full-grown corgis. Chuck hasn't looked like that for fucking year and a half, 2 years. This thing's the tubbiest little corgi of all time.
Oh, you got a lard.
He's the biggest, I think, in the history of corgis. I'm not 100% sure, but he would never win the speed race. That fucking guy will eat, though. I mean, he will eat out there. Our house is a problem right now. Our house, Teddy, maybe the largest cat going right now. Fucking Chuck, largest corgi in the history of corgis. Both of them are going to have joint problems at some point, but now's not the time.
Do they have eating contests for dogs and cats?
Teddy would take it home.
Yeah, you should start one, if not.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. I have 2 Joey Chestnuts in my house.
Yeah, like a canned tuna. And
OSHA
then like
wouldn't love that though.
Yeah, I don't know if it's OSHA.
What's OSHA?
The animal one.
I don't know if it's
PETA?
OSHA.
PETA, there it is.
Well, they don't like
sucks.
anything. I don't think PETA likes
That's what I'm
anything.
saying.
Well, PETA's wearing
They like oat milk.
shoes and belts and yelling at everybody else.
That's right.
Welcome to the world of hypocrisy. We're in it. Another hour of it next.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Look, welcome back to that show. This guy's out golfing all night at his new country club. Mutiny in hour 3 starts now.
Yeah.
Hey, that looked awesome.
slipped.
That looked
Finger
awesome.
slipped.
No, yeah, it's because it's a country club last night. You got all the country
Finger
club.
calluses.
Zeno
oils.
saw it was because I was eating that greasy calzone this morning.
Yeah, it could have been a calzone.
It was a good
Yeah.
calzone.
I thought it was the country club pores that you have developed overnight all of a sudden. Foxy is not happy with you being a country club guy.
See, here's the slander that I'm the country club kid when I've never been a part of a country club. Probably only played golf at one country club in my whole life, and now we have an actual country
One of
club.
you act-
Congrats, Nick.
One of you
Congrats.
act
an
like
interesting
it. One of you
development.
doesn't. So.
Well, I don't know. Nick's country club fingers just slipped and did something.
It was
he's
the
never done.
calzone.
Yeah, but you see the
It's
juice.
never.
Yeah.
You've eaten a
Yeah.
calzone before.
Yeah.
I had one yesterday.
You've
thought
eaten a
about this.
calzone before. You've never golfed at a country club. Is your performance going to go down?
Wow.
Because you're now country club Nick. This is tough. Is now the time to have this discussion.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
my mind is kind of blown right now after what Foxy just pointed out.
Yeah, Foxy was very proud of this fact yesterday. He gave me this entire speech with a little bit more energy when it first was delivered, but similar type of energy as he had there.
I
And he
can't
makes
help it. Foxy likes to live in shit still. He still drives the shittiest car. He lives out in some shitty field.
Right.
You do. That car is a shit
And
box.
the reason you guys called me a country club kid is because I started working at 14 at a golf course. I was a
All right,
car kid,
child labor's
and
cool.
I've been working ever since then.
All right, well, you're a worker.
Wow.
Foxy.
Listen, following your dad around on the golf course, picking up his empties isn't working at a golf course.
Before we get to Gabe Morenci and the electricity goes to an all-time high, and the boys tell the massive giveaway they're doing today.
Yeah,
I can't wait to
huge.
hear what that is. We have to talk about something we talked about earlier in the week. We mentioned that Black Adam was here.
Yeah, of course.
We mentioned that Black Adam was flying right next to a couple of Top Gun pilots and was punching fighter jets out of the sky.
That's right.
Yeah.
We mentioned that The Rock is actually built like the superhero he's portraying. There is no visual effects that are taking place to make him what he is. The Rock is a superhero, and the superhero that he chose to bless to become a bigger superhero than everybody else was Black Adam. Reviews are in for the trailer, boys. 98% positive global review for the Black Adam trailer. A new era in the DC universe is ushering in passion, disruption, and always giving the fans what they want.
That's too low.
98%, I know. And this came from Dwayne Johnson, the future president of the United States, the newest member of the DC universe, Black Adam himself. The Rock says 98% positive global review. Fucking love it. Did a little bit more research on this. Yeah, it is. It's about hunger.
Staggering.
Yeah, it is. It's we devour in the power, in the hours.
Put in the hours.
Yeah.
The take was ours.
Ours. Do a little Zoa, sugar-free. Oh. Put a little ooze juice down, then go into the Iron Paradise and fucking move more weight than anybody's ever seen.
Thank you, Rock.
And then I'm becoming an actual superhero, and then I'm going to finally make a movie about being a superhero, and it's going to have a 98% positive global review. I didn't know what that was. I had no idea how that is. Did a full artificial intelligent bot, I guess, that reads all of the tweets from around the globe.
Wow.
98% positive. How could you not after watching
That's
that?
unbelievable.
Because that's a Rock.
Hats off to Dewey. I mean, it's got to feel kind of backbreaking that TC just a couple weeks ago had 100% global. I mean, not just for the trailer, for the movie in general. So hopefully, this can live up to that.
$600 million in the box office is what it has gone to. Top Gun Maverick. We've given a lot to that. A lot.
That's right.
More than most.
What's Paramount coming for?
We've actually given about the same amount as their theater gave, probably, or their film production did, renting out theaters, but it was worth it. They're saying it's probably going to become $1 billion film. Allegedly, Tom Cruise put up a lot of his own money in that. I think it was around $200 million. We ended up doing the math, all in with marketing and everything. Going to go on to make $1 billion, $800 million. How much of that did Tom Cruise get back in return? At least $500 or $400 million, we would assume.
Yeah.
Congrats to TC doing his thing.
What's that lawsuit?
Yeah, that'll be the
going
5-10 million thing out of nowhere. There is another lawsuit, though, that we have to talk about. Breaking news, Chargers owner Dean Spanos is being sued by his sister Dia Spanos Barbarian for alleged misogynistic behavior and repeated breaches of fiduciary duty per me, Adam Schefter, and Kimberly A. Lawsuit was filed today in California and calls for Dean Spanos to be removed as co-trustee. This has been lingering for a couple years now.
Yes.
This conversation about the family, the Spanos family, having a little bit of turmoil has been chatted about by us and I think a lot of courts over the last few years, which led us to believe that the Chargers are potentially going to go up for sale because I believe Dia Spanos Barbarian was initially alleging that Spanos, the owner of the Chargers, did not have enough money, had a bunch of debts, liens, was basically reckless with the way he was running the Chargers family, and they were calling for him to sell it and for the family to sell it. We don't know. At that time, it was kind of shrugged off as not real. Now another lawsuit is coming. It sure feels like Dia and Dean do not like each other.
Not at all.
Dia is
And when there's when there is billions of dollars on the line, an LA franchise on the line, and with $4.65 billion cash being presented by Robson Walton to the Bolin Trust, Dia seeing that the rest of the family, we don't know where the rest of the family, allegedly the rest of the family is on Dean's side, and she is the only one that is somehow maybe had a falling out with the family, which does happen, by the way. That does happen with families. We've seen it on numerous occasions, especially when there's a lot of money involved. Now this is only going to grow larger and larger. It happens to be a Friday, which is really fascinating. There's a follow-up tweet here. Dia Spanos Barbarian claims in her lawsuit that her brothers Dean and Michael Spanos believe to their cores that regardless of what their parents intended in their wills specified, men are in charge and women should shut up. Okay, so this is a part of the misogynistic thing claims I believe that Dia is a part of. She probably feels as if she hasn't had enough say maybe in the team or in the Chargers or enough power in the Chargers. This will only continue to go. But with somebody already on the record, via Pro Football Talks, Mike Florio, so I don't know where he got it from. But Josh Harris, owner of the Sixers, has said, I will pay $5 billion right now for a team, let alone in LA. That'll get driven up even more. That's probably a part of all of this. When he got big money, he got big problems. And here we go with the Spanos family and the Chargers.
Yeah, because wasn't it initially she was the one who was saying all those things like, hey, we're broke. Like, you don't have the money to run this team, and he was kind of just holding on to it. So it would make sense if someone, a big bidder came in that, you know, she wants to sell the team. But, I mean, is this going to ultimately go anywhere? I feel like we
have no idea. Yeah. No. This will all get buried behind the scenes. We've seen Succession. This will all kind of get figured out. But there is a little bit of turmoil amongst some billionaires, it does sound like, especially in the ownership family of the NFL. Joining us now is a man who should be a billionaire because of the amount of work he's put in over the last couple of decades.
That's right.
This guy's been talking about sports gambling long before sports gambling became the cool thing to chat about. Long before it was legalized. This dude, enraging redhead named Com Stewart. We're talking gambling in Canada on the radio long before anybody else. Now he has blessed us in our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, from Sports Grid, Gabe Morenci.
Yeah, let's do this thing, Pat. Great to see you guys. Let's rock.
Hey, Gabe, I can't thank you enough for joining us. I'm going to have to get out of here soon, but the boys are excited to chat with you. I have to fly into a place that has storms, I guess, happening, so the plane got moved up. Never a good thing to hear before you hop on a plane, but nonetheless, I have a question for you, Gabe. Klay Thompson, over under 19.5 tonight. After he calls out the fans, he's going to have to answer, right? Because we kind of buried him. A lot of people have said this guy's soft. That feels like a good prop bet there, Gabe. Do you agree on that, or what are you taking for tonight's big game?
You know what? I like the fact that Klay busted through the other night, Pat, and I think he's going to continue. Shooters are streaky, man, and he was ice cold. Now I think he's heated up a little bit. I think it was ridiculous that, he's worried about a fuck you chant. I mean, you guys saw the video about someone calling. I love that girl, whoever she is out there in Oakland. If you're tuning into the show, hey, LeBron, how does it feel to be a pussy ass bitch?
Yes, Gabe.
Yeah. Might have been Owen, actually, that called earlier. But I'm with you, Pat. I think that Klay stays on track right now. Look for Andrew Wiggins as well, man. Wiggins has been very consistent. No one really talks about him all that much, but I think he needs to be more aggressive offensively tonight as well. I like Wiggins to go over, and I like where you're going with Klay. One thing, though, you guys were talking about Tom Cruise and Top Gun and Maverick and all this and all the money that it's made. This is one of these deals, man. The first Top Gun movie came out when?
1986. Tell him, Gabe.
Who won the championship in 1986, Boston, Carter?
Boston Celtics, baby.
And I was going to say I wouldn't buy into that, but I do because I'm a psychopath. And number two, the way I think, if this second movie was a flop, I'd say, well, the Celtics are going to flop now. But the movie's a fucking hit.
Yeah.
So looks like things are in store for the Boston Celtics. Although we should know, listen, man, the Golden State Warriors are 5-0 straight up, 4-1 against the spread, coming off a loss. Boston played 7 games against Milwaukee for a reason.
What?
They played 7 games against Miami for a reason.
What?
They should have been able to finish them off. They didn't. They're like a fighter that has a hard time stringing together 2 consecutive rounds. Yeah. Now they're soaking up their greatness in the Boston area over the last 48 hours. You're going to get a Warriors team tonight that's going to come out firing. I like the Warriors in the first quarter. I like the Warriors in the first half. And I like the Warriors plus the points tonight. So this way, if the Warriors start off strong, boom, we win money with the first quarter. Maybe they're up at the half, and then Boston dials it up. and maybe we go 2-1. But I am taking the Warriors plus the points tonight, guys.
Yeah, I like that game. I also think there's a live bet for the Celtics if you're going to take them, just because you'll get better odds if they do go down early, like you're saying with the first half. But what is Draymond's deal? Is he good at basketball? Should I just bet his under when it comes to points, assists, rebounds? Like, for you, what does he really bring to the table?
Well, I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan. So
no.
He brings nothing but fucking anger and rage to me for the most part. But listen, he's talked his way into that character. He's sort of, to me, like Beverly. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Beverly thinks he's the greatest player, and you know what I mean? Because if you sort of like the UFC, if you talk your way into it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like Kobe, you talk your way into these roles. And Draymond has established himself in that role. Listen, Jaylen Brown just dismissed him the other night, if you saw. Mm-hmm. He started to talk shit early in the game, and the Celtics just sort of ignored him. And that's kind of like what I do with the Saudi Golf Tour. Speaking of which, where's Hawk anyways? I heard he's playing golf. Did the Saudis get to him?
Locker may have been compromised.
Gabe, speaking of the so if you're taking Golden State, quarter one potentially and for the game, I assume you've been paying attention to their third quarter dominance too?
Yeah, that's just unbelievable, isn't it? How do we not just ride this? So I guess I have to. We call it the trifecta. You know, I did it the other night with Boston, actually. I took Boston first quarter, Boston first half, and then the game. It's sort of the degenerate special. You know, we call it the degen trifecta. Did it last night in the CFL game. Took the Alouettes plus the points, took the over, and teased it. All right, so
let's go.
And we fucking killed it. We're ready for some CFL football. For the record, too, remember we told you guys the Buffalo Bandits going to win the lacrosse. They're one win away right now.
Let's go, Gabe.
Knocking on the door, baby. Knocking on the door. But, you know, I don't believe, listen, we can get into trends and whether, you know what I mean, this team is 22-12 against the spread when they're wearing pink socks and the wind is blowing 12 miles an hour and the national anthem takes over 2 minutes to play. There's a lot of stupid sports trends out there that you see now. Yet the fact that these teams continuously keep responding off of losses, now one of them. I mean, look, guys, between the two of these teams, they are now 12-0 straight up and 11-1 against the spread coming off a loss. Boston's won every time they've come off a loss in the playoffs, and they've covered the point spread every time. So now up to 7-0 straight up, 7-0 against the spread. They were 6-0 going into the last game. And you look at Golden State, they're 5-0 straight up and 4-1. So we're talking about an 11-1 ATS run right now. One thing this is another crazy thing though about the finals, guys. You know, the last 48 NBA Finals games, only 2 times did the team lose and cover the point spread. So, in other words, if you like the Warriors tonight, you got to pull the trigger on the money line as well.
Gabe, you mentioned the UFC with that card this weekend. Is that something? Can you effectively handicap what's going to happen in these UFC events? Like, I feel like I bet every single one every time it comes along, but they're really. I mean, outside of betting for one of the heavyweights to have a knockout, is there really any way you can effectively handicap what's going to happen on Saturday?
Yeah, you know what? This card I haven't broken down yet in its entirety, but MMA is a sport that you can attack. The key to MMA is don't be a hero and try to bet every fight. Like I used to have a pick for every fight, side and total. You know what I'm saying? And it starts to add up, and especially some of the earlier fights are a little bit more unpredictable. But usually on an MMA card, I'll post them on my Twitter @SportsRage. Usually on a UFC card, I'll find 2, 3, 4 spots that we can find a spot to win in. Right now, like I said, I'm fired up for the CFL. CFL is back right now. Cool. We got it done last night. There's a couple of spots on the board. USFL is really starting to get more predictable, and there's quite a lot of trends developing. And, of course, we've been killing the Stanley Cup Finals as well. And I'll tell you, I think the Rangers right now, they're as done as Cody Rhodes' fucking pectoral.
Yeah, the
Rangers are done, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, after that knockout, even though it was a Rangers to a Lightning fan, it does seem as though the Rags are dead, and they kind of feel that. Are you pumped for Lightning Avalanche, though? Also, are the Avs kind of the new era Lightning? Is this kind of the last run for this veteran team? And then are the Avs maybe a goalie away from being that next team that's going to go on a run damn near every year?
It does feel that way, doesn't it? We were just talking about the UFC. guys, you guys are big hockey guys. This to me would be probably the best Stanley Cup final head-to-head since, like, I don't know, like Mary Lemieux and the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Red Wings type stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like think about like all the cups, like last year, Las Vegas and Montreal. You know what I mean?
That's
It
a
wasn't
great
like,
matchup.
wow, this is going to be like.
That one stunk, Gabe.
Yeah, let's be real.
Whoa,
The Canadians
whoa, whoa.
got rolled. They were in over their heads, right? Like, you know, the Lightning and the Dallas Stars in the bubble. Yeah, it was okay, you know what I mean? But it doesn't say like, you remember when we were kids, man, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl type. This is this wow type factor.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what, I think Colorado are overrated. And I think there's value, guys, with the Tampa Bay Lightning at plus 195. They're the two-time motherfucking defending champions. And people are talking, Colorado's going to be too much. Have you watched the Tampa Bay Lightning play? Have you watched them get better as series go on?
Dogs.
They have the best coach in the league. I've said this, guys. You look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are defending two-time Stanley Cup champions, all right? And you look at the NFL, nobody repeats. The NBA right now, you look at all the other. I'm just saying, you know, a player in the NBA has a good fucking week and they want to put him in the Hall of Fame, right? If the Tampa Bay Lightning were in any other sport and they were the two-time champions, they'd be like one of the biggest stories in sports about how good they are. And then even in the NHL world, it pisses real hockey fans off that Florida is good. So no one really likes Tampa. And I got to tell you, I don't. But you know why I don't like Tampa? Because they're a bunch of dirty motherfuckers that do whatever it takes to win a hockey game. You know why they're so good? Because they're a bunch of dirty motherfuckers that'll do whatever it takes to win a hockey game. Tampa and Colorado are both combinations of highly skilled teams that'll do whatever it takes. Right? Like they can also, and we saw Tampa beat the shit out of the Rangers at the end of the game last night.
Yeah.
Like, bro, don't try, because we'll knock your teeth out and we'll bang your girlfriend if you want to, if you keep running fast. Right? That's what they do, the Lightning. And I think it's great value at plus 195. Nothing against the Colorado Avalanche, but the Tampa Bay Lightning are on a mission to win for the third time. They have the best coach. Vasilevsky gets better as series go on. This is going to be a much tougher test. If you actually look at what Colorado's gone through to get here, it's, you know what I mean, they're going to be playing a real goalie for the first time. I mean, I'm playing against Mike Smith tonight in my beer league. So.
Gabe, you summed that up beautifully, like a true Canadian, with all your points there. Colorado, they have the speed and they have the skill to match up, but it's got to come down to the goaltending, right? Vasilevsky's the best in the world. He's out-dueling Shesterkin right now. And then you look on the other side, you got Darcy Kemper potentially coming back. And if not, you got Pavel Francouz, who everyone's like scratching their head like, who's that? Who? What? Who are you talking about?
Francouz. I'd actually start him. I know there's a debate. Bro, he's 6-0. Nicky Skates. He's 6-0. You're going to take a guy out that's on a 6-0 run? I wouldn't. If I'm the Lightning, I would keep on riding Francouz, Frankie, and then, if he slips up, boom, we bring Darcy Kemper back in. But I would ride the kid that got me here. I mean, he's 6-0. I'm not going to get in front of that. But I think there's value with the Lightning here, guys. Thing with the listen, the Avalanche are amazing, but they make more mistakes. Just a few more mistakes. Tampa do not make mistakes, man. They don't beat themselves. All these teams that Colorado played beat themselves. It's going to be a hell of a series, but I think there's good value with the Lightning at plus 195, guys.
Gabe, before we get into your incredible CFL and USFL handicapping, I do need to talk to you about a serious matter, a matter that's been troubling us quite a bit. Your team, they refuse to lace up the boots when first time they've been in the World Cup in forever. What is going on in Canada, Gabe?
Messed up.
Yeah, that was quite the debacle last week, wasn't it, man?
Yeah.
Man, well, for the record, they did win 4-0 last night to make up for it. So they covered on the minus 1.5. Davey scores 2 goals. They beat Carousel. But I swear, man, there was a lot of first they were supposed to play Iran. Number one, don't fucking book an exhibition against Iran because it's going to piss people off, and that's what happened. So the players got upset about playing Iran. They didn't want to play Iran, so they canceled the Iran game. Then they fly in the Panamanians to play them. And then I saw Tone a couple hours before the match canceled, contractual issues. And I thought, why would the Panamanians fly all the way to Vancouver just to bitch about their contract?
Pandemonium.
I never thought, guys. You know what I mean? I was like, fucking Panama. Why would they come here if they don't want to play? I don't understand this. And I'm like, it's Canada. What the? But honestly, it wasn't handled in the best way. And, and truth be told, guys, they don't really have, all these sides don't have a lot of time together before the World Cup. It's not like, the World Cup is coming up in November. It's like, no. Like, these guys are going back to their teams. So it's not like they're training all summer together, these national sides. So you don't want to leave time on the pitch there. But it wasn't a greed issue, guys. It wasn't like Alphonso Davies is like, I need to get paid more to play in these games. Canadian soccer's always sucked over the years. They're good now. They're bringing in a ton of money. And they just wanted to know, where's all this money going now that you actually sell jerseys? Where's all this money going now that we're actually have high TV ratings? And the men actually demanded the women get equal pay.
Oh,
that was part of their demands as well. They basically, long story short, Tom, they're trying to get a couple of executives fired, the players.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Point blank. They think that there's a bunch of people riding fat on the hog. There's like 23 fucking executives in suits, guys, making like $400,000 or $500,000 a year. And the players are like, why? Who are these people? I never even know who the fuck this person is. Right? So the players just wanted more control. Because like I said, before, guys, it was, some Italian kid from Montreal that, used to sell weed in high school that was on the Canadian team. Now, he was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Players and stuff. So they actually ask questions about where the money goes.
All right, Gabe, before we let you out of here, and we can't thank you enough for joining us, can we please have your well-handicapped picks for the really good football leagues, the CFL and the USFL?
Gabe, on top of that, I want to know, are people in Canada actually fired up for the CFL, or is it just you? Like, is there a buzz in Canada for the CFL to start?
The Grey Blacks?
Oh, no. First off, I'm rocking the jersey here today.
Oh, hell yeah.
Lions! I had
What's
to
it
do
say
it
on the
for
back?
BC Lions, baby.
What's it say on the back?
Oh, Swervin' Mervin Fernandez. You remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Swervin' Mervin, baby.
Let's go.
I got it custom made, actually. I got this thing. It'll sell this at the pro shop, let me tell you. But, hey, listen, the BC Lions, long story short, man, they've sold out BC Place. First time in 9 years they've had to open up the upper deck.
Let's go.
There's a lot of excitement for the CFL. Guys, every game for you bettors out there, FanDuel's got numbers for every game. Every game is on ESPN Plus, and there's like a weekly game on one of the ESPN networks as well. So you get every game on ESPN Plus, like the UFC. But Saturday night, you guys, you get the BC Lions and the Edmonton Elks. Take the BC Lions to win this game. Lay the points with the Lions. It's 3.5 right there. You got the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. Speaking of repeat champions, nobody's won 3 championships in a row in the CFL since the Warren Moon Edmonton Eskimo great teams. All right. The Bombers have won 2 in a row. They're laying a touchdown tonight. Lay the points tonight with the Bombers against the Red Blacks, and I like the Rough Riders. And everyone's going to ask, are there 2 of them? No, there's only one. Saskatchewan Rough Riders are going to beat the Hamilton Tiger Cats tomorrow night. Lay the 2.5.
Hey, Gabe, I just hypothetically speaking here, if the Buffalo Bills were to take on the BC Lions, what do you think the score of the game would be?
77-10.
Wow. Okay.
No, you know what? It's not a great. I swear to God, it's not the best example. The Bills and the Bills and the BC Lions, because the Bills are really good and the Lions are kind of a lower tier team. So a good example is if the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions right now, played, let's say, the worst team in the league, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jags would win like 35-21 type thing.
Wow. Really?
Okay.
Yeah, like it would be a battle.
Okay.
It would be like, you know what? And I know we don't have a lot of time, but we'll talk about it in the future for you guys that are in football history. The CFL and the NFL used to play against each other, and they stopped it because my Buffalo Bills were such losers. They lost to the Hamilton fucking Tiger Cats.
Oh, no.
The Tie Cats?
And they shut the series down. Dude, Mike Ditka. I got drunk with Mike Ditka in Orlando. I got invited to. I used to have Ditka on my show. I went to his golf tournament in Orlando. We didn't play golf. We just got drunk.
Yeah.
All right? I said, hey, coach, we're sitting there. He looked like a fucking lizard, like alligator in the Orlando sun. He was all dried. He was like the Iron Sheik. He had a towel over his head and stuff, steam with like the water's coming off it. And I said to him, hey, coach, do you remember playing against the Montreal Alouettes in like 1961 or something? And he nearly fell out of his chair. He goes, I was a rookie. He goes, they were up at the half on us. The quality of play, like, put it this way, guys, the CFL would kick the shit out of a USFL team.
Okay.
Oh.
Which
like All you need to know is players in the USFL, which is pretty good football. It's quality football. I like it. They're making $4,500 a week. Quarterbacks in the CFL are making $1 million a year. Who do you think is going to be the better player? You get what you pay for.
True.
Let me put it this way. Shea Patterson, former Michigan Wolverine, freshman of the year in the SEC.
Yep.
He could not hang on a CFL roster. Like, he couldn't make it as a backup even. Like, he bounced. Like, he couldn't stick to a roster and get through camp. He was the number 1 pick of the USFL draft.
And he got cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, God, I knew they were dumb for taking him in the first place.
Do you think one of these teams would potentially like break the bank for Baker Mayfield and get him to try to come play in the CFL?
They just, it was funny. Cardell Jones just got cut by Saskatchewan.
Oh, what?
Cardell Jones just got cut. No, Baker will be in the NFL, guys. What's his? What's this little monetary thing? He's on the hook. He's guaranteed the money. Why would any fucking team help the Cleveland Browns out right now in their cap issues? Browns are going to have to bite the bullet and release him, man.
All right, Gabe, before we let you out of here, how about USFL?
Oh, take the Vikings over 8.5. Man, there's another one for you. I got all fired up this week. Vikings over 8.5.
Okay. And USFL?
Let's go with the Tampa Bandits and the Breakers over the number.
Bandits and the Breaker over.
Yeah, let's go with over the number. Let me load them up. I'm on the NFL here over the USFL. All right, so listen, the Generals and I'm talking about the Panthers. The Panthers bad. This is amazing, guys. The Houston Gamblers are up to 8-0 right now in the first half.
Wow.
Every week, the Houston Gamblers have had the lead and covered the spread in the first half, and then they blow it in the second half. Sumlin's team. Take the Gamblers plus the points. It's too many points against the Birmingham Stallions. I know the Stallions are the undefeated team and all that, but they're not smoking people. Gamblers, take the Gamblers plus the points in the first half and the Gamblers plus the points in the game.
All right. Hey, we cannot thank you enough. When are you on Sports Grid today?
We'll be on at 6 Eastern, breaking it all down, man. We're going to be talking CFL football tonight, NBA Finals. Like I said, I'm taking the Warriors in the first quarter plus the points. Warriors first half plus the points. Got to ride that Warrior third quarter run, as you guys talked about, and the Warriors plus the points. Let's get it.
Okay, at Sports Rage on Twitter. Catch them on Sports Grid. Thank you so much, Gabe.
Hey, may the winners be yours, guys. Always a pleasure, man.
Gabe's the best.
The best.
He is.
He has picks for everything.
He does. I'm gonna bet the full slate here on the USFL, but I
have it.
How do you have that much information on the USFL?
In the CFL.
Well, when you do 14 hours on Sports Grid a day,
that's true.
You have to.
Because you're a gambler.
He's a great gambler.
He's a good gambler.
That Gabe Morenci and Tom Stewart, they're good gamblers.
Good gamblers.
But Houston first half against the Gambits.
Yeah, no, they're playing
Houston is the
Birmingham.
Gamblers.
Yeah, they're playing the Birmingham Stallions.
Bandits.
I like the Bandits Breakers over.
Oh yeah,
because then you're just rooting for points.
Yeah.
Not to mention the Bombers -6 and the BC Lions money
Don't
line.
forget about Saskatchewan Rough Riders -2.5, I
and
believe.
Vikings over 8.5 points as well.
Is he sure you can watch CFL games on ESPN Plus?
I think so.
I think you can.
Maybe I'll tune in tonight. To be honest, why not?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Nice little Friday night treat. All right, we're going to get to a break. We'll be back in 4 minutes here on the Pat McAfee Show. Pat's on his way to Louisiana for SmackDown tonight. We'll do a giveaway after the break, and then we will close things out on this Feel Good Friday. See you on the other side.
Hey, we're up to something big. Hey, we're up to something big, AJ. We are up to something. This is the coolest moment of the history of my existence. I think people are going to be startled. It's a joke, and I can't thank everybody enough, honestly. I'm up to something. Today's a big time day. Let's go. Not only are we going back to Plum to do something cool, but today is the day that our heater horse has arrived for the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big deal. Whenever you get a chance to give back to where you're from, especially a place that helped create me and mold me, I'm very, very lucky to do it. I'm lucky to be from here, and it seems like the only smart thing to do would be give back. What's doing, Mark? It stinks here, huh? What's up, Kennywood, dude? Kennywood is named after Kenny's Woods. A man named Kenny owned the hill in the woody area. They turned it into an amusement park. which is a Yinzer staple. So Jeezy actually shouts out this area we're currently in. I think life can be much simpler whenever you just take care of your people, enjoy your life, and do your thing, and that's all we're trying to do. You know, growing old, slowly dying. How about you? How's everybody? I'm gonna give a full lead up to how I got to where I'm at. I think I'm very lucky to be from here. If you're a kid that has walked through these halls, you understand something that not a lot of people do. I think Plum is a much different place than everywhere else. And there's Nick up there. Go look at Nick, how pissed off he is. This past summer, I was driving through here because I was here for an event, and Angelo Bolino, little blonde-haired kid, was kicking on the same field that I used to kick on as a child. And he had like 2 balls and a holder. And I was watching him kick, and then he would go shag for himself, and he would come back and kick. And the easy question is, if he had 10 balls, how much better could Angelo Bolino be? If I would have been able to have 10 balls, 15 balls, new cleats, new everything, chances to go to camps with my teammates and everything, what could have happened? So I said to myself, literally after meeting with Angelo, great season by the way, dude, I said if I ever get a chance, I'm going to try to take care of the potential humans and kids that were in my exact position in Plum. I'm going to give $200,000 to the Plum area soccer. I'm going to give $150,000 to the PMFA youth football. I'm going to give $100,000 to the baseball youth. I'm going to give $100,000 to the lacrosse. And then we're going to have $2 million in this fund that will just start. And hopefully it'll only go on from there. Sweet stuff for sports. Just anything to make everybody's, the teams and the players' lives easier, better. Trying to streamline the entire process of taking care of the athletes at Plum High School is kind of what it's all about. Hey, you too. Wow, dude, that was cool. All right, Narati, like the Indy. You're going to have a lot of people that have never accomplished anything in their life tell you that what you're thinking about doing isn't possible. Just because they don't think they could accomplish it doesn't mean anything to you. Cheers, everybody. Hey, we're all Mustangs here. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. I am Tone Diggs. Pat is on his way to Louisiana for SmackDown. Had to leave a little earlier because of inclement weather in the Louisiana area.
That's right. There's a storm of brewing.
That's right. Hopefully it all works out for everybody. I am joined by the Toxic Table, Boston Connor and Ty Schmidt.
How you doing, Tony?
You guys enjoy Gabe as always?
Oh, yeah.
He's the best.
It's impossible not to enjoy Gabe.
He's the king.
Nikki Skates, Zito, Foxy, Bill slithering around in the back somewhere back there. Everybody's all here finishing out this last 20 minutes of Pat McAfee Show on this Feel Good Friday. Before we get to anything else, we have to do Feel Good Friday giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
This week.
It's a good one.
Yeah, we always like to find the theme of the week or the theme of the day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. The hashtag for this Feel Good Friday is hashtag PMS salary cap is fake.
Okay.
That's hashtag PMS salary. You spell it just like the normal salary.
Yep.
Spell it.
Salary cap.
Salary cap.
Salary cap, and then the is. So SALARYCAPISFAKE.
Hashtag salary cap is fake.
Yep.
Okay. Tweet that.
PMS salary cap is fake.
Yeah.
Hashtag PMS salary cap is fake with your hashtag and a player that you would like on your team because the salary cap is fake.
Reset.
Yeah.
Hashtag PMS.
One more time, Tony.
The spelling really threw me off.
I know.
Hashtag PMS salary cap is fake. Hashtag PMS SALARYCAPISFAKE.
Boom.
Now,
What do you guys want in your team?
Wish that
You'll see
hashtag
my
PMS
tweet.
salary cap is fake. You have to put your cash tag in there from Cash App. And then we would like to know, since salary cap is fake, who you want your team to sign with the fake salary cap money.
Yep. Mine is TJ Watt.
You son of a bitch.
Sorry.
TJ
That's what I
Watt.
want. Yeah.
I don't even know who I would want. Really, I mean, Odell. I guess right now, give me Odell.
Sure.
You want Odell? Of everybody in the league, that's your
right. Packers are complete. They just need Odell.
I guess.
Speaking of who I'd want, fucking Jalen Waddle.
Why is that?
Because Gumpy staring me right in the face from Canada, and I knew it would piss him off. Welcome to the show, pal.
Hey!
How we doing, boys?
How are you, pal?
All is well, my friend. All is well.
Fantastic shirt. Do we got any footy going on this weekend? Any Nations League Cup finals maybe that we're not thinking about?
There is the Nations League going on. I haven't dove too much into it, though, Connor, unfortunately. I'm still dialed in baseball, loving baseball.
That a baby. Are you going to watch any of the CFL games tonight? I know CFL is one of your true passions.
Morenci can stand alone on that mountain. I ain't watching a fucking snap of CFL, my friend.
Before we go to anything else, let's get to the 5-hour energy phone line.
Here we go.
I'd like to go to Anthony in Youngstown, Ohio.
Okay.
Nick, can we do that?
Hello?
Anthony, how are you?
Hey, boys, how you guys doing?
Keep it
moving. Keep moving.
So my fiance texted me that she is currently working at the golf outing that AJ Hawk is at.
Oh,
wow.
really? Have we heard anything about the Hawker?
We have a confirmation on a lot of stogies getting burned out.
Okay, that's to be expected.
I expected that.
We have a maybe, and I can't confirm, but a maybe on a few ice cold Bud Light.
What?
Here we go. Hell yeah!
All right.
And the last thing that we can confirm, unfortunately for that, I had her go up and tell the management about it, but we had to put up some fences around all the lakes out there to keep that golf cart dry too.
Smart move. That's smart.
Smart move.
Thank you, Anthony. Have a good Friday.
Hell yeah.
It's a good call. Hey, I figured that's what AJ would be doing at this charity golf event.
Pretty much checked all the boxes for AJ and a celebrity golf tournament. By the way, in case you guys are just joining and didn't join 6 minutes ago, hashtag PMS salary cap is fake.
Yes, Zito's got it up there in the corner. Love to see it.
My apology. I did spell salary wrong in the first 10 seconds.
Okay.
I did that the second A.
I also said it wrong 6 times in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, so we're all on the same page.
We're on the same page now.
Now we're good.
TJ Watt, huh?
TJ Watt. Well, I mean, look, there are a lot of good players out there.
You know what? Aaron Donald.
Yeah, Donald is
Match
definitely
him
on
with
my
fucking
list.
Cam Hayward and TJ Watt.
I want Aaron Rodgers. Lions probably win the Super Bowl.
You don't believe in
0% chance.
Goff?
Well, Aaron Rodgers is a lot better than Goff. I still think Goff is good.
You're going to sign a guy who's 39 years old?
Yeah, he's very good. Back-to-back MVP.
Foxy, why would you take a guy of all the players? Don't you want a young guy? Why wouldn't you want like Mahomes or Josh Allen?
No, I just want one playoff win, and Aaron's definitely going to do that for me.
See, that's what I was just thinking of what the Packers have right now. But if you give me unlimited resources, then I mean, I'll get Devante back, and we'll fucking go get
Devontae
D-Hop as
already
well.
turned you down.
No, because in this situation, they could have given him something astronomical like $400 million.
Yeah.
He's probably not turning that down.
No, probably not.
Justin Jefferson, I think, also.
Justin Jefferson would be a very
I
good
think
one.
he's an
To play with
underdog
Jordan
here.
Love, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. I mean,
Wow, how's the weather in Canada?
It's like 10 degrees right now, Celsius. It's not great. It's fucking like 32 in Indy, I think.
Oh, yeah.
No one knows what that means.
Yeah, what is 10 degrees Celsius? What is the trend, like the whatever it's called?
30 degrees is like over 90.
Jesus,
So
it's that hot outside?
It's not 90.
I wasn't planning on bringing even hoodies with
Oh, it's
me,
50? It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit? And fucking
Yeah,
Oh, it's
not
chilly out
fucking
there,
good,
huh?
Dude, it's been fucking raining since I got to this fucking place.
Hey, but the shirt looks great. I mean, that Pink Floyd shirt is hitting.
It is a banger. It is a banger. You guys hitting the links this weekend?
I'm sure I'll try and smack some clubs around. I don't know if it's. I mean, shit. If it's 30 degrees Celsius here, I don't know
not
if,
a chance.
if I can get out there. That's too hot.
I'm sure Blue Jeans will try to recruit us out onto the course this weekend.
Brucey's got to get out there. He's got to get his fucking 56 in.
Yeah, you can't hit flop shots if you're not trying. Is there anyone else on the phones over there?
I was literally just about to ask that. Emmett, is there anyone else on the phones?
Sure.
Chris.
Chris, where's he from?
Oregon.
Oregon. Chris from Oregon. What do you got?
What's going on, boys?
How
you doing, Chris?
Keep going on.
Hey, I got a problem with you guys' vibe for the Rangers.
What?
What do you mean?
I got a future for a parlay with the Rangers and Celtics. And the Celtics are 2 wins away. They're going to do one tonight.
Okay, I like this.
Okay.
And then, but you guys are talking bad about the Rangers, and they're going to come back and win in 7.
Well, sorry,
These
Chris. A lot
classic
of us.
Rangers fans. No one talks bad about them. Everybody just thinks the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion is going to win again.
How's that make you feel, Chris?
Mitt definitely hung up on him.
Yeah, he did.
You know, Chris, a lot of us here have futures on the Bolts
Yeah,
to do
we
it
do.
again.
That's
so,
true.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, not to mention, Gabe Morenci just came on and said plus 190 for the Lightning to lift the cup for the 3rd straight year. And isn't the only Achilles heel for the Avalanche is that their goalie isn't good? Like Igor is the best goalie in the league, or Vasilevsky, and then they're going to play some bum who almost lost to Mike Smith once.
Darcy Kemper?
Yeah,
he's
There's,
Ed Kemper.
there's a thought that Colorado hasn't really beat anybody that good.
Don't
either.
say Ed
Yeah,
Kemper,
Darcy
he's a
Kemper
bad guy.
deserves a little bit more respect than some bum. But,
Okay.
but you're right. He's not on the same level as Igor and Vasilevsky.
Well, and on the flip side, the Avs haven't faced anyone remotely close to a guy like Igor, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had, like Connor did say, they had Mike Smith and a backup outdueled him.
Yeah, Mike Smith absolutely stinks from the games that we watched. But, I mean, shit, it's going to be a good series. That's all you can really hope for in the finals.
all you
Stanley
can
Cup
really hope
finals,
for.
I mean.
That is all you can really hope for, and that's what we'll get, hopefully. And even if the Rangers do pull this off and make it, like, that's even going to be a good series, too, because they'll have dethroned the 2-time back-to-back. And Gumpy, he's already shaking his head, but, like, it's a possibility it could happen.
Could happen. For that guy's
Sake's
sake.
dead on Saturday night, dude. Take him out back. Braden Point back for the Stanley Cup finals.
Is he? Is that actually going to happen?
There's a thought that if it goes to 7, that he would play in 7. He's expected to likely be back at some point in the finals.
Wow.
I'm hammering the Lightning.
What a fucking boost, dude. This 3 times, 3-peat. We'll never see this again. Not this day and age.
Well, I mean, we're going to fucking see it in the NBA when the Celtics win 3 in a row after this year.
That'd be sweet. Celts tonight. Gotta have it. Have to have it.
I do not feel good about it. I did not know the Warriors are also undefeated coming off a loss. That is tough.
A lot of
This is
times,
how these series have gone all whole playoffs. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
those are the stats, but, you know, a lot of times in the playoffs to reach the finals, you do have to win after after losing a
Great
game.
point.
You cannot lose a couple in a row. Speaking of Boston, though,
Yeah, what's that?
were you super bummed?
About
I mean,
what?
you've been putting Hunter Renfroe on the Patriots for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I will say, actually, I was super bummed about that, but I'm already on to DK Metcalf. I mean, I saw Pete Carroll said there's a crucial week up ahead for them to sign DK, so I'm already on to him. And guess what? If the Seahawks re-sign him, then I'm on to Terry McLaurin. I mean, I have faith that somebody out there will not get re-signed, or they'll want to leave, or they'll be up for a trade like A.J. Brown, and the Patriots will make a move for him. And if that doesn't happen, then yeah, Mac Jones is throwing 50 touchdowns to Jacoby Myers next year and the year after.
Are you worried, though,
I think
that
Jonnu is going to have a big year for you guys, too.
Fucking
Second year.
better paying him like he's got.
I was just about to say, are you worried that because they already spent $200 million on the offense last year?
That is true.
It was only about $100 million, but yes, we did spend a lot on the offense last year. I'm not as worried because the whole thing with Mac Jones was this guy's a genius. He's got a photographic memory. If he sees a defense once, then he'll be able to decipher it the next time he sees it. So he's only played 18 games. He's got a playoff. He's got that little playoff experience where they got absolutely demolished. But no, I feel good about it. Another year in the system for a lot of these guys too. My biggest worry with the Patriots offense is the Tyquan Thornton rookie wide receiver out of Baylor. Because if that turns into another N'Keal Harry situation and all the guys like Pickens and all these other dudes who got drafted after him turn into dogs, which happened with N'Keal Harry, then I am going to be a very pissed off. Yeah, because I mean that has to come through. Defense is going to be fine. It's really just the offense and the wide receivers there.
Are
Jonnu
you
Smith.
worried at all that maybe like Patricia has a great year calling plays and then like the Chiefs like Mahomes requests that that, hey, I want Patricia to
Patricia?
be my OC, like, and then you lose him, and then you don't know what's happening next. Does that concern you at all?
No, I've been held pretty firm on the fact that I do think the entire offense is Mac Jones this year. Like, I don't see how the guy who had learned the 20-year offense, as they said with McDaniels, that they've been working on since Brady's rookie year, how they're just going to be like, all right, we're going to scrap that entire thing, and we're going to have Matt Patricia, who, Foxy, what was his record in Detroit? 4-20, maybe?
Terrible,
It doesn't make sense to me that they would do that, so I think it's going to be the exact same offense as it has been for the last 20 years. Them not having a fullback, though, them telling Jakob Johnson, we're not going to have a fullback on our roster as a position this year. That's very interesting, but that also just leans into my point that it's going to be Mac Jones, not calling the plays, but basically telling, Bill or Patricia or Joe Judge, whoever the hell it is, calling plays like, this is what I like, this is what I'm comfortable with. And we've all seen the meetings with Belichick and Tom Brady during game week, like, hey, find Ed Reed. This is what they're trying to do on defense to screw with you. I assume that's going to happen too, and they're just going to develop a game plan as a team up there.
Okay, so producer in my ear.
Yeah.
Just let me know if we did leave out what the giveaway was this week.
Oh, yeah. What is
so
the giveaway for?
Tony,
you will get the player that you want.
Bill, start the clip right now. Okay, ready? Action. Here we are back on Feel Good Friday.
Hell yeah.
You know what Feel Good Friday means? We have to do a giveaway.
That's right.
We're going to have a hashtag.
Sure.
You're going to put your hashtag in that tweet.
What?
You're going to fulfill the deed that we tell you to do.
Yes, which is what player you would want.
Correct. And then we're going to give away the prize. So the hashtag is hashtag PMS salary cap is fake.
Okay.
Hashtag PMS salary cap is fake. Make sure you put your cash tag in there.
That's right.
Put your cash tag in there. And then with the fake salary cap, you're going to tweet us a player that you want on your team, and you're going to use those fake salary cap dollars to get. We will have 10 winners of $500.
Okay.
Voila.
There you
That's
go.
the giveaway right there.
Yeah, it is.
What player did you say you wanted?
Aaron Donald, why?
I'm actually going to take Travis Kelce.
Ooh.
That's cool.
That's the right pick. You know what? Sorry, I'm going to take Travis Kelce.
No, because I just got him.
Well, that's not how it works.
You can't have him. You're already paying on $200 million for 2 tight ends.
Actually, I changed. I want Trent Williams.
Ooh, left tackle.
Yeah.
I'll take Aaron Donald then.
Okay, you're taking Aaron
I'm going
Donald.
to take Mac Jones.
Holy shit!
And then I'm going to cut him because he stinks.
You actually just got him for like free then.
All right, I want George Kittle then. Kittle now.
Yeah. Okay. So we got that.
Yep.
Perfect. We got.
We have a homework assignment this weekend.
We do.
Yes.
What's that?
Because I feel it'll be discussed on Monday.
Yes, that is actually a great call.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're about to say.
Everyone must watch Adam Sandler's new hit movie on Netflix, Hustle.
Banger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you already seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it as good as everyone's saying? Because people are saying it's one of the best
Don't
sports
give away
movies
too much.
ever.
It's top drawer, dude.
Okay. I heard Anthony Edwards is like actually going to get into acting after his career.
Goose?
Oh, yeah. He was getting a lot of praise on the internet.
Yeah, people
That is
love
Goose
him.
is
I'm
real.
pumped to watch it.
Foxy, you started half of it?
Yeah, I'm halfway
Which is
through
a
it.
wild move.
Yeah, it's great.
I watched
love it
about
so
3/4. Yeah, it's good. It is not one of the best sports movies
No,
of all
definitely
time.
not.
Do not go into it thinking that.
Yeah, we have to.
Joko UK doesn't lie to us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought Joe UK is the authority on everything.
You make a good point. But yeah, if you go into it thinking that it is one of the best sports movies ever, and I guarantee you will be sorely
Tell you what, it's got a
disappointed.
91% on Tomato Meter.
It's good. It
And
is good.
91 audience score.
It is good. It is good.
Okay, so
Sandler's just the best.
Well,
that's the Sandman, baby. Hubie Halloween and Hustle.
Don't.
Back-to-back years. Stud.
Hubie Halloween was not
It came
last
out
year.
in 2019.
No, it didn't. It came
Before
out
COVID?
during the pandemic, yeah.
I don't remember. I've never seen
It might have been
How many
2020.
years ago was Uncut Gems?
2 years ago.
I think that was 2019.
Could be.
Hubie Halloween was 2020.
Still a great movie.
Was not a great movie, but
We can agree to disagree.
Was the Sean Payton story a Happy Madison production?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
And Sandman was not in that though, unfortunately.
That
He had his
doesn't
hands on
count.
it, though.
Doesn't
Yes.
count.
Shaq was in.
Has to be in it.
Yeah, Shaq was in Hubie too.
He was?
Not to mention, yeah, he's in Hubie Halloween. I actually read something that Adam Sandler prank Shaq, made him do this makeout scene about 50 times after they got it the first time. Pretty good. That's Sandman.
Classic
Sandler hijinks.
Is Shaq in Hustle?
I don't know. Is he?
If he was not in it while I was watching.
It'd be
I haven't
wild if
seen
he
it
was
now.
in every single Adam Sandler movie except for the basketball one.
There are a lot of cameos in it, though.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
Kenny the Jet's in it. Bobon's in it.
Yeah,
Gianni
Boban.
and Edwards is in it.
Okay, well, is Luca Garza in or not?
I have not seen him yet, unfortunately.
So he's
That-
definitely
it's
not.
funny.
in
I
it.
hadn't even thought of that. I might not watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
Now they should. Luca Garza should have been the main character.
I agree.
I mean, if
thought
Anthony
it was
Edwards
about
is in it,
Garza.
and we're like have up and coming players in it, Luca Garza.
Man, what a missed opportunity for the
Doncic?
Sandman, and he usually
That's the
doesn't miss.
Pistons' fault. That's the Pistons' fault.
Yeah,
not
you're right.
Sandman's.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
right.
if he
Yeah,
was in
PR
a
team.
bigger market, they would have put him in.
Had him playing in the G League, dude.
I
Guy was
know.
getting 20 a night.
I am 20-9. Yeah.
We need him on that G League
Yeah.
team.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's a great point.
It's a really good team.
Yeah. Mick got any more callers back there?
Hey, you got one last caller, Mitt?
He said he just cleared him.
Attaboy, Mitt.
That'll be Mitt.
Maybe,
Which
man.
reminds me,
2 minutes.
we are right after the show, 3 o'clock start for Hammer Dahn today. You good with that, Paul?
Yeah.
Got a redirect link going?
Yeah, we got a redirect link going. There's 15 MLB games, and I know I have 10 picks, and I sort of assume Gumpy's got a bunch too.
Probably
so
has
we'll-
every game.
And
Absolutely.
Brucey Blue Jeans is supposed to come in and give, if you guys didn't know, the Belmonts this week.
Belmont
Oh, wow.
State.
Bruce
Yeah.
is running.
Really?
Bruce actually a jockey.
Bruce's
Yeah.
horses.
With those blue
Okay.
jeans.
We asked, hey, are you running this weekend? Because, if you guys don't know, and you don't know who Bruce is, he owns a horse.
Bruce Brown.
We asked him.
Max
and,
player.
And he thought we were asking if he was running in the race.
No. His pony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Bruce,
Turns
we
out.
know you're not running in the race.
Yeah.
Is your
Con.
pony. Turns out it is.
What is the giveaway? One more time before we get out of
Hashtag
here.
PMS salary cap is fake. Make sure you put your cash tag in it. 10 winners of $500. Whichever player you want on your team, since salary cap
In
is fake.
the
It is
tweet.
fake.
Let's go. It is fake. And hopefully, the Patriots get TJ Watt next year.
Did he just sign an
Yeah,
extension?
he did sign an extension. Remember,
Yeah, but they
remember he
can't-
kicked down the agent's door?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But remember, we offered him $350 million over 3 seasons, and it's fully guaranteed because sorry,
He wouldn't do that, dude.
I don't know. That is a lot of bread, Tony.
I wish you the best of luck tonight.
Hey, thank you. We'll see what happens. I feel good about it. The Garden's going to bring it. We know that. We'll see how the boys play.
Ty, I
Hope-
wish you the best of luck.
Handle the early storm.
Bingo.
Like the early
In that
storm.
third quarter storm.
Good luck on the Blue Bombers this weekend.
I appreciate it. Yeah, gonna need it tonight.
Nick, good luck on the Lightning closing out this weekend.
Thank you. Good luck to you as well.
Zeke, good luck to the Bears.
Thank
on
you.
Winning
Right
a
on.
game this year.
Excuse me?
Same to you, Foxy.
Thank you.
You guys will get it. You guys will get it done.
Yeah, you'll get it.
All
done.
right, we'll be back on Monday. Mad Dog is right up after this. It's been a great day.
Have a good weekend now.
We'll see you Monday.